He better get his ass in here. I'm waiting on Viz. I bet you that nigga already spoiled his other scan. I don't know why he trying to lie. I need Dustin here to get his ass.
Why you out here slandering Rex that hard? The stream just started. Like...
Nah, because Rex get on my everlasting nerves. Because he really trying to play like he don't be reading these scans. Like he's so holy. And that nigga was like,
right,
bro. I was still stuck on it last week. So that nigga was in the church talking about so I'm holy. He's like, I can wait. Y'all can wait 2 more days. It's already been 2 weeks. We can wait 2 more days. And nigga turned around the next hour and a half. Fucking, I'm gonna read the scans. I can't wait. I've been patient. I deserve it. I'm like, man, yo, get the hell up.
I'm mad that like Shonen Jump just showed me the chapter was available, but then it's not on the website. So now I gotta find my phone.
Yeah, them niggas bugging.
No, I have it. I mean,
that's why I said I gotta find my phone because I guarantee it's gonna work on my phone, but not.
Yeah.
The fault in the translation. Damn. You know, the translation.
Yep. It's available
I had to
on my
go.
phone.
Yeah, I had to go to Manga Plus because
You're real is too strong. That's what they mean. That's what they mean. But yeah, I can't. Little fell.
All right, first page.
Woohoo!
Let's go. 277. Who? Ooh. So see, we open it up with Deku pulling up on Shigaraki. That close up. Damn. All right. The worst case scenario. What? As long as Shigaraki's quirks are erased, we can join this fight too. The Nomu are keeping the other heroes occupied, which doesn't leave us with enough power to face Shigaraki. He'll decay everything again once his erasure comes in done. The worst case is losing our teacher, the teacher who has watched over us all this time. We can't lose him. Izuku Midoriya. You cannot become a hero with that power of yours. Midoriya. Let's do this thing rationally.
From
AP machine gun. Fireworks show.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ooh, he pulled up even with the black whip. You're not on my radar anymore. Here comes Endeavor. Where's Shoto? It's just us two here. I'm so close. Okay, then. That body's beyond human at this point. You boys be his legs, okay? Sure, and you keep that scum away from us. As powerful and sturdy as All Might, but as long as I don't blink, that power is all he's got, and I'll hold on for a good long time. For whatever reason, you two are here now. Let's save the why for later. If I scoop up Izuku Midoriya and get away from here, we're giving Eraser the support he needs. Bakugo, you cover Deku. Acquire one for all. One for all. You will be mine, little brother. Oh!
You see his head split. We were
Hell
talking about
Spider. Little brother, that wasn't me saying that. Your will is too strong, master. This is my power, my body. You don't get to be some phantom voice whispering inside my head. Back then, I thought about how the guy they call the Lord of Evil was defeated by the power of just one man. Don't get me wrong. I'm real grateful for how you raised me up, but I don't want to be like you. I want to be greater than you. Shut the hell up. Dog, this whole I control myself.
I told you.
That was really quick. Really quick.
Let's go. That's the thing. Theory is out of there. It's trash.
I told people that's not how it's going now. Let's go.
Let's go. Who y'all trying? Who y'all trying?
But I really thought that Horikoshi should have wonder a little bit longer.
Nah,
he's just not.
No, he said y'all gonna quit lowballing me. He said y'all gonna stop fucking acting like I'm just some random. Y'all gonna stop treating me like I'm coming up and I'm 16 writing fanfic on fucking iHeartManga.com. Y'all gonna put some goddamn respect on my name and understand that just because I go for references don't mean I'm guided by them. It doesn't mean I'm contained by them.
I'm not Kishimoto. Stop putting me in the same bag. I'm not. Let's go, bro.
Hitting back can be the best way to avoid dying. After all, I did try train a crazy powerful guy. Now quit trampling all over Shimura's memory. Who, if you think he's anything, you even existing, hurt Tertianori so much. It's made everyone suffer.
She got mad. Oh, I can't wait to see when he found out about Twice, man.
If you think he's anything less
right
than a
now-
villain, no good.
Right now, I want Shigaraki to kill the old man. Really, I want that.
Not on your radar, huh? You total piece of crap. He was just bait. That's what I've been waiting for. Oh shit! I should have tweeted about how Bakugo was going to use his gauntlets this chapter too, because I was calling that too. I knew he was going to blast Shigaraki with that. So what if my strength alone is not enough? The symbol I strove to be, that that isn't the path for you to follow. You see, everybody's freaking out. Vanishing fist at that moment. Hang in there. You got to hold back. You got to hold him back. You got to tell me twice he's not going anywhere. What?
I told you, you called it. I'm tired, you other key.
Yeah, but I did not think that. I mean, I did not think that she would actually stop him even for 5 seconds.
That's the misconception. She didn't really stop him. He's not focused. Look at his face.
He's literally looking past her. Like,
yeah, of course, but she does stop him in his tracks for at least it seems like it. At least long enough to say, "Don't gotta tell me twice," which I guess.
The best part about this is they got Kirishima and Tetsu's fucking internship guy right below his knees. Forearms,
the real best part about this?
Oh yeah.
All the commanders are coming.
Yes, sir.
Because if you look closely, that's Skeptic on Gigantomachia's back.
Yeah, with fucking, and you see Spinner, Dabi, Compress, and Toga.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dabi.
So it's all the commanders that are getting brought. All right,
now we've been talking about this. We think Geaton is most likely still staying behind because they do need somebody to lead them.
I mean,
at the bench in front, they still need somebody to get their shit together.
Yeah, he's not gonna just let. I don't know, man. Like,
now Redestro, he probably leave it, and I don't know about Hanabatsu, but Geaton is definitely right there as far as like at the mansion, staying at the mansion.
Like, because like the other thing is they could just as easily be on the other side of Gigantomachia's back. But like you think they need somebody there, but
yeah.
If he grabs Skeptic, I have a hard time seeing why he wouldn't grab Geten too.
Yeah.
Just like on his way up, like they were right next to each other, damn near.
Mm-hmm.
Man. All right, Sayaz, you read that for the first time with me. How are you feeling about that? Because that was
I'm impressed by all these. Really, I think this is Horikoshi again, just getting too far with the way he draws Shigaraki. The Shigaraki panels are always great, but this time they are just extra crazy in some of these where you can, for example, which page is that? When Gran Torino comes in just in the corner down there. It's so the Shigaraki panels, I really like them. Other than that, it's a good chapter. I mean,
man. The way they comboed this man, though.
Yeah. I have to say it. I feel like extending Aizawa's quirk so long is a bit like cheating. This time, I can only hold it for so long. And of course it's true, but now that it counts, there's like holding it for 3 chapters already.
I mean, that's why they got mail right there.
That's why, like, okay, so I was watching, like, I'm cool with Noxie and I'm gonna have him on air at some point. But I was watching Project Manga and his boys were discussing the My Hero section and they were like, why is Manuel standing around using his water quirk to like spritz Aizawa's eyes? He should be doing a lot more with a quirk like that. And I'm like, shit, this man is doing the most important job on the battlefield right now. Like,
I don't understand people who act like this. Damn, the only man who's standing between them, their lives and their death is Aizawa, and this guy is helping him for this. And they keep telling me, yeah, he has a water quirk, he can do something. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Like yes, he can do more. But here's the thing: just because you can do more doesn't mean you should be doing more in that moment.
No, listen. They're getting two water quirks messed up. If you needed somebody in battle with the water, that would have been washed to actually be active. Manuel is one of the most normal people. He's doing the most normal thing right now. Do it like play the key part.
Manuel is Quirk. His Quirk, even his name means that he can just control water. He can make it.
Yeah.
That's why. So there is no water right now on the field. So the little water that he can use, he use it on Aizawa. Manual means he can. Manual means the manual. You know what it means, manual. So he talks about his control of water. Even in the anime, we see him destroy some water thing on the streets. Can use the water to put the fires out. He can just control water. He can create it. So even so, why asking him doing things that he can't do at the moment right now? I don't understand people when they don't read the manga well.
Let's see, look, Ponzu, like we said, people read My Hero, but they don't read My Hero.
Oh, yes.
You spot on with everything you just said, Ponzu. These niggas just don't pay attention. I don't know what they expect. Manual, like all people do. Look, he's doing the most clutch job possible, bro.
It really is.
Like, come on now.
Anyway, respect to Aizawa, because I don't know how you're feeling, but every time I get a bit of water in my eyes, I have to blink immediately.
No, the way that he put the water in the eyes is literally just at the contact, just under the. So that's why I'm really respecting right now what Hikoshi is doing. So Horikoshi is doing. So
not too much to make the eyes watery. No.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, because he used every.
So
he used every character. He used every character in his story in a good way for the moment. Even Manuel, the first time that I saw Manuel, I thought to myself, okay, this guy has a water quirk, but it's more like telekinesis than something else, you know. Telekinesis being with water, that's just this. So you get this. It's not like the little Shota or the little the kid there that helped that Deku helped like against Muscular.
Koda.
His name. So he can create water from his body, you know. So it is something else that than just using water on the floor and you move it away. So,
oh yeah. Somebody mentioned also like how AFO blew apart Mount Lady like it was nothing. So Gigantomachia is probably just gonna, and yeah, that's the truth. Like Gigantomachia is gonna run through Mount Lady next chapter.
Yeah.
Well, you see, finally, what I've been waiting for is finally gonna pop off. Kamui Woods season. Who better? The man who main thing is suppression. You know Kamui Woods, Headshot, and Mount Lady literally have a team that we haven't yet to see in like full blown action yet. So you really think Horikoshi is gonna pass up the one chance to actually have the team, the one team, and they all like right next to each other, and plus Kamui is literally the suppression god. Like literally, that's I know he has more moves, but that's his main thing right there, suppression. You think he's not gonna back Mount Lady up and this one guard? Because he got her right here for a reason. They're gonna stall him for like it's gonna build tension, but we know Machia gonna run through her event really, but she gonna get a little bit of support.
Hey yo, check out the villains on top of Gigantomachia.
Yeah, like he's got the whole league plus at least Skeptic. So like here's the thing. If they so part of the reason why Gigantomachia escaping here makes sense is because this is the part where the heroes vanish from the street. So what might end up happening is he throws down Mount Lady, him and Gaten plus Dabi throw out like another big attack. The splash damage wipes out a good chunk of heroes and they finally pull out. And then they land, and then all the other heroes by Shigaraki, even with Eraserhead there, end up dying thanks to the Nomus plus Gigantomachia arrival, plus Dabi and Gaten arrival. So like the next couple chapters might take place at the hospital. One of the things though that I will say is that Bakugo's been going airborne a lot, and his explosions have been more than likely visible from further away because they're a giant flash of like red light. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Shoto pull up in the next 2 or 3 chapters.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what the hell was it never looking at?
What you mean?
Where do you mean?
Remember when he was like, "Where's Shoto?" And then he had 2 extra panels looking to the side off in the distance.
Oh, I guess he was just wondering about his kid.
I think he would
But
watch Deku,
yeah, but there's just Aniki sent BG the link.
Oh, BG ain't got it.
Yeah, and then but no, I'm saying, but this is who you got to remember who we're dealing with. Don't waste the panel. He literally looked towards the battlefield two times, not just once, twice. Or of course he made it, and then he made him linger on it at the second point. It was like he looked, he glanced over. Yeah, it would have been just a regular glance over, but he looked twice, and then he said, "Huh." And then he looked real close and dense. You know, the nigga see far as fuck for some reason. That nigga got 50-50 vision, bro. Fuck 2020. That nigga got 50-50 vision. And that nigga can see far away.
And I'm looking at like where his focus seems to be, and it's like the mountain range. And I think it's basically he's staring towards the Nomu in the direction of the city, more than likely.
Yeah, so then he does it a second time again after they reference Shoto. Because there would have been no point to go back to it.
Where's the second time? I think the second panel is him turning back to Shigaraki, but I'm not sure.
Maybe he thought back to like where Mirako had faced off with those Nomu for like 5 minutes or whatnot. And maybe he was thinking about Shoto was being in that same predicament. Like,
I don't have a monetized channel, so you can't donate to me as far as I know.
Huh?
Otherwise, I would have been let donations beyond. Like nobody's out here trying not to get money, bro.
Hey, shout out to Audi. But I mean, because we know Shoto's coming. So I mean,
yeah,
I don't know why. There was no point to like emphasize that, like him doing it twice, because Deku already said the heroes are getting caught up by the high-end Nomus, the nearly high-end Nomus.
Also, we need Shoto to pull up because we're already getting the payoff for the Endeavor Agency just having these three work together. And the idea of Shoto not being here, not eventually pulling up, not getting the four of them working together versus Shigaraki, at least for a little while. I mean, come on, don't pass that up.
And then plus
he better show up.
Oh, BG.
Like, what up, BG?
Oh, nothing. I just realized I've been forgotten by all y'all.
Get out of here. You in the church. You in the church. I send the link to the church every weekend, and then I have to message it to everybody directly because nobody looks in the church for like 30 minutes.
I've never actually been invited to the church.
Don't you get a Discord link?
That's right.
I've never got a link, no.
Say less. Get this
when I said the church, I was talking about the
Twitter church, right?
Yeah.
Twitter church.
My laptop is dead at the moment, so I just have my phone. That's why I wasn't active as I wanted to be on the church. So, yeah.
Hopefully we can see Shadow, get rid of some of those normal.
See, what I thought might happen is that we could get Bakugo using like a couple AP shots angled upwards, and that would work as a flare. And we'd end up getting like Shoto like seeing the AP shot flare, and like, okay, if Bakugo's shooting explosions, that means they're in combat. Let's move. And then like Shoto would come in.
To be honest, I don't think Shoto needs a sign that they are in combat. I mean, that's pretty obvious.
In my eyes, Shoto.
The fact that they ran away to face Shigaraki.
Yes.
I can't imagine that all these big ass explosions aren't enough big enough sign that they're fighting.
Right, that's what I mean.
Well, and that's the thing.
You gotta
like
find the scene of the battlefield.
The gauntlet firing should let them know, okay, they didn't just run off, because like they technically lied and said they forgot something. So it's important, even if they know they're in combat, where they are. So watching the gauntlet explosion happen, like, should be enough to let them go, okay, Bakugo's over here. Shoto and Ida should be able to pull up, possibly Uraraka, just by making Sue float, and then they just like latch on to Ida as he's running at super speed to get.
I doubt it's on purpose. I doubt that Bakugo would flare on purpose, because I don't think Bakugo would say that we need Ida and Uraraka here.
I don't think he'd specifically request those two.
I also doubt that Hori would have made Endeavor even ask about Shoto if there was no intention for him to actually do anything. Because honestly,
of course.
Thank you, BG.
You got to think about it. Why would all three of them be at that internship and Shoto gets nothing?
Yeah, and then speaking of which, it's funny enough because some people for some reason, I don't think they don't use their brains when we say Dabi's killing Endeavor. They be like, how's Dabi going to match Endeavor? It's like, when has Dabi ever had a straight up one-on-one fight? Like, other than Geaton, like, he had no choice in that regard. But when has Dabi ever been like a 1v1 brawler type of guy? of course, and he's gonna get Endeavor weakened, and then he's gonna use whatever tactics he got, and then body him. So now that you got Endeavor using everything he has, and then I know that nigga burning up right now. So he gonna use it move after move, his strongest moves, combine the moves. Then you got them battling Shiggy and all the damage he already took. His body gonna be overheated and drained. So then by the time Machia pulls up, that's just done deal right there. That nigga on death's door.
Actually,
Guys, I just think about something. He could also ask why Shoto wasn't there, because he can use Shoto's ice to cool him off.
Wait, who called him off?
No, he said like
off.
Shoto's ice could cool him off. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
For like 5 minutes or something.
I mean, couldn't he technically also ask Manuel to help him with that? I mean, water is not quite ice.
Manuel got to maintain that perfect balance though with Aizawa. He's doing it very cautiously.
Yeah, okay, he has to.
But the thing is, honestly, do y'all believe that Machia fight is happening concurrently, or is happening right now?
It's happening. It said meanwhile, so it's happening.
No, it's the same time.
Yeah. These are both happening at the same time.
That's what I think. I think it's like that time travel shit that Ori likes to do. So if that's the case, honestly, I feel like whenever we return back to fucking the fight, I feel like Shiggy's their erasure is gonna be gone because the villains pulled up. So if that's the case, I feel like Shiggy's gonna stop that.
But it is no time travel thing. It is on the same time.
No, he means like different point of views in different times.
Basically, he's saying the timeline's going to move forward from the mansion, and then we'll get a cut back to when the erasure was lost. Is that what you mean?
No, I'm essentially saying like when Shiggy called them, which is like right after he woke up, it's going to cut back to that point. It's going to cut back to that point to where he when they were about to leave.
I don't know if there's enough interesting stuff that would have happened. I mean, it's like the last thing we saw is Gigantomachia standing up, and now we see him.
No, there's definitely enough.
That's what I'm saying, because he's gonna be getting up, he's gonna be trying to leave, and she started stopping him. That probably happened right after we left them last.
No, there's definitely plenty of stuff that happens. Do you have all these battles? You got what is Gang Orca doing? Because he was right there. He saw Machia coming. What is Uri Musha doing? What is Edshot doing? What's Kamen Woods doing? Then Machia had to go get Skeptic, and because Skeptic was in the back. And then you got people coming out Redestro. It's like there's plenty of interesting things to take on, because when it cuts back, it's not gonna be Mount Lane and them clashing again. He's gonna do it just like he did Hawks. I mean Tokiyami saving Hawks. He's gonna be like 5 minutes prior, while they were fighting, like 5 minutes prior, and then it's gonna lead up back up to what happened on Mount Lady again.
Yeah, I just don't think it's necessary, because I don't think there's anything that is really that important that we need to see it. Because I mean, we didn't really see much about what happened to the other characters with Shigaraki, like with the Pussycats and with Wash. We just saw hints of it. So why would this be massively different with Gang Orca or?
There's a reason they have to do this, because if they do that, then that means that almost like right after the Vanishing Fist, the villains will be able to show up, because it gives a reason as to how they're getting there when they do.
Yeah,
for now we know that Gigantomachia is still with Bound Lady at this point, where Endeavor uses the Vanishing Fist. That we know.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. No, actually, that's the thing. It depends, because we don't know if that's happening like at the moment of the Vanishing Fist, or if this is going back in time like usually.
No, we know, because it says at the same time.
But listen, but if you know Horikoshi is right. He's going to cut back 5 minutes prior, a couple minutes before, just like he's been doing this entire arc.
I don't think so. I don't think
so.
Yeah,
hey, we got Rex in.
We got brother Rex.
I just finished the chapter like 5 minutes ago. But just reading it, I don't think we're going back anytime at the mansion, because honestly, there's nothing that happened prior that is essential to the story moving forward. Hawks is out of there. Like all the stuff that's happening on the current battlefield at the hospital is so much more important. So everything needs to be progressing towards that. And if we go back, the only reason we went back with Tokiyami is because the Hawks and Dabi stuff was actually integral to the plot. But nothing else that happens prior to where Gigantomachia is important to the overall plot moving forward.
That depends on what's actually going to happen here, though. Because if, for example, if you're like me and you expect Mount Lady to lose, then you might also, like I mentioned earlier on stream, if they knock Mount Lady down and while the heroes are like trying to avoid getting her falling on them, they just wipe out a bunch of them with their long, big ass attacks. That's going to be important because the students that are there in the Vanguard would notice that and have to decide if they want to mobilize and start trying to like engage with the Paranormal Liberation Front or not. So because we have that on the table, we have to decide, like, see why the Vanguard doesn't engage or why they do. So that in of itself is something at the hospital that's like worth noting. We got characters like Kirishima, Momo, Tetsu, a lot of people who have been built up that are still there. In addition to that, Kaminari and them has to meet up with the rest of the students, give them the information report on what happened, explain that Tokoyami ran ahead of them, or Tokoyami might even like stop and like yell something down to them on his way. We have to like see the information being relayed here because they still have radios and stuff, but they haven't been necessarily communicating with the Vanguard, which I think is interesting because it's been emphasized how much the hospital unit is coordinating and talking to each other. But
all that can be done in present time, though. I don't think we have to go back.
No, I absolutely agree with that. We will go back to the hospital, but we won't go back in time. We will just see from where we are now, which is Gigantomachia trying to get past Mount Lady, which should probably happen soon, next chapter. And then whatever the students will do, whatever it will be in the future, like on the way to the hospital. I don't think we need to come back in time and see Gigantomachia move from standing up to now engaging Mount Lady. Because I think from the way it's set up in the manga, it's quite clear that him and Mount Lady, the way they are in the panel now, is exactly at the same moment as Endeavor using the Vanishing Fist, or more or less the same moment, because it says at that moment.
Also, I'm just going to point out that Vanishing Fist is probably Endeavor's strongest attack.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this then.
More than likely.
Have y'all read? Go ahead.
Must be a new technique.
You go, Tom. I'm gonna come back to that.
Have y'all read the latest chapter of Vigilantes?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not caught up.
No.
I know what attack you're talking about, Tom.
Yeah, but like how much fire has he used up like so far? You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
he's used a lot of fire, but he's also come a long way.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have to get the fire extinguisher treatment anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well, I mean, didn't he use that prominence burn fucking Hell Spider combo?
Yeah. And he used Hell Spider here, and then he just used Vanishing Fist.
And then he used a prominence burn Hell Curtain. Like he said that was prominence burn fire right off rip. Like that was a blanket of fire.
So honestly, either his resistance have gotten up or he hasn't used as much as we think. Then that because I don't know how the fuck he's doing it.
It's all pushing himself beyond his limit. Because I'm telling you, it's going to match up when Maki and them show up, and they wasted all their energy and time, and he's going to be really drained. Like everybody gonna be fucking like really drained by the time Maki and them get there. So that's going to overdo it. But let me. I want to talk about how I don't agree with Rex says on this point at all. Because all Horcrux ever does is do countbacks in time, and y'all saying like it don't matter or this, that, and other. But I disagree.
Because there's nothing there of interest. I mean,
okay, so here's
no. Wait. Because y'all got that's what y'all think. Y'all think there's nothing of interest. There actually is important parts because we have to. What are other important heroes doing? Here it's like because you have to set it up too because it's like because then we got to cut all the way back because it's like you need to set up what all these other top 10 other top 10. Yes, we do. We got to cut up what these other hot because Maki, Orca and Musa are right there. There are other people fighting right there. It's like Maki. We don't have to see Maki go get. I'm picking you up. I'm picking you up. But there's other things in the match. It's like I bet y'all like he's gonna cut back because he always cuts back. He's been doing this. And y'all say that's not integral to the plot. That is integral to the plot. Like what are these other characters doing? Because they also matter to this. Y'all think about he did that with Crust in them too. Like
okay, so
here's the difference. With Crust, we got like 2 panels what happened, and that's all we need to know. With Wash, for example, we saw 1 panel of where he was at, and if at the end of the day we see he died at that moment or he didn't die at the moment, that's all the information we need. Don't need to see it happen.
But no, there's a difference in that because there's a difference in that because that was Shigaraki's overbearing decay. That was just showcasing how fucking dangerous that nigga is. That's like decay is like some long sad death. You see how he blinked in a blink of eye, everybody was dead. That's different than what's going on here at the mansion. I don't think it's that different because I don't think
I think we are at a very important moment in the manga where Horikoshi has to decide very carefully what he chooses to not make this arc too big and too long and too just fighting left and right and the plot not really progressing. He has to make decisions what is important. And really, whether Gang Orca wins against Getten or not is not really important.
It's
It's
really
just, we know they engaged,
it is, though,
and we
because
know
it's
in the
also-
end how it ended. That's all we need to know.
No, not Rip. Not that.
What happens at the mansion matters because of the fact that we need a justification for the heroes. Because, like, here's the thing.
Thank you, Aniki.
Wash, the Pussycats, and all these other people that died, that was to make a statement. But and nobody who was on Shigaraki's level is there at the mansion except Machia. So at the very least, we need something that like signifies Machia being damaged, the time or the heroes being wiped out so that Machia can keep advancing. Furthermore, you got to remember that the Ketsubutsu and Shiketsu kids still need to get integrated into this arc.
Yeah, but that's all in the future, I think. That's
yeah,
not
that could be all done in present time. It doesn't need to be a back and forth. It doesn't need to go back.
The only reason why he's saying that there might be a flashback is because of the fact that if all this is happening at the same time, then you have to kind of justify like the time gap and what happened in the time
You don't
gap.
really.
Yes, you do.
Bro, really don't.
In this particular scenario, yes, because we want to. Because right now, with the attacks that Shigaraki has been hit with, especially if you like go back, because Horikoshi made it a point to draw his face certain ways, like 3 or 4 pages straight. Like if you go, there's when he says, "Stop disgracing Shimura's memory." Who? Then it's like he gets mad at Gran Torino for talking that shit. Pulls up on like gut checks. Gran Torino is about to pull up on Shigaraki. Deku gets blasted into the ground, immediately gets bounced, looks like he's in pain, into the Vanishing Fist. So, and in addition to that, it's not like he didn't take damage when the Prominence Burn actually landed on him. So we do need emphasis and something to like pull up and justify Shigaraki not being down for the count right now.
But you know, answer me this question, then, y'all. So overhaul and NBA, did he not cut around during specific times, matching what was happening here, what was happening here? Because y'all don't, what y'all saying it don't matter. That's actually that's not true. This is pivotal to the plot too. I don't know why y'all think it's not. These characters actually matter because what the hell are they doing? If they, I'm not saying they like what are they doing? I want y'all to like paint a picture
so here,
why they wouldn't matter.
Actually, before you go, Rex, I was gonna say something like, actually, on that point, that's not a good idea. If they just keep, but I mean, like, because like, what is it? Overall, is not a good example because if that happens, that's not good because what is it? Like if this is just a situation where they're gonna just go bouncing back and forth like in a different time, different points in the area, that wouldn't be good because at that point we're gonna turn into the problems, the little pacing issues that overhaul.
Yeah.
Okay, they use MVA in this entire arc leading up to this chapter. How he did Miracle, how he did Talks, all he did.
I agree with that. I agree with that because like that it's not as like confusing because it didn't just go like this point.
No. So the difference is like we're earlier in this arc in MVA. It's not like we were jumping in time. We were just going to another situation and continuing presently. But with this, it's like we see Machia hands come out the ground. And and we know that he's getting everybody. So from him coming out to the ground to him bulldozer Mount Lady, like you guys are making it seem like the world ended in that period of time. I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough there to warrant a flashback. I think that
you realize that a flashback doesn't have to be a whole chapter, though.
Thank you. That's my thing.
Not to mention, that's another problem with that. You really
no. I don't. I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying a flashback has to be a whole chapter. What I'm saying is, I don't think there's enough there to warrant even a page of that. Like we know, like
okay, no.
I'm actually gonna argue.
Something has to justify Skeptic being willing to get on Gigantomachia.
It's not just that. It's not
what?
Just that.
What do you mean justify it? They're getting attacked. What? Gigantomachia, their biggest asset is on there. Why would you not get on Gigantomachia?
Because Skeptic literally made it a point to run to the conference hall to like focus on organization.
It's not even just that. It's not even just that.
Let me say like this.
Hold on.
No, let BG up.
Yeah, sorry.
Like it's not just that. You also have to think about the fact that from what it looks like, Mount Lady just started holding him back. Are you telling me that it took him like 5 or 6 minutes for him to grab all these motherfuckers, and then she just grabbed him?
Okay, so you think 5 or 6 minutes has passed like when we saw Endeavor like
Yeah.
go to. I don't think it's been
Yeah.
that long. I don't think it's been that long when Endeavor
I mean,
like,
because-
first attacks Shigaraki. I think it's been like maybe 2-3 minutes max. I think they were moving that fast. I think all that happened really quickly. I don't think
It
it's
has
been
to
that
be.
long.
Because that sounds like cap. Because think about it. Because then you also have to remember it took Deku and Bakugo the time they took them to get there. Then they got grabbed. They went like far away from the battlefield. Then went back.
Dude,
And
these dudes are moving insanely. Like Deku's at 30%.
No.
Bakugo's moving at the same speed. They're moving fast. Gran
I'm
Torino.
not talking about. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about the moment where it
Look,
took, where what is it? Gran Torino took them away. Then they stood there and talked.
Do you know how fast Gran Torino is? It's
No,
that could have happened in 20
them.
seconds.
I'm
Hold on,
talking about them standing there and talking. That's what I'm
let
talking
me
about.
let me throw something in that Sean Smith said. He's talking about how Gunga is going to focus on him picking up the villains is inconsequential. That's not the thing we're talking about. We're not talking about him picking up each member one by one. And he's talking about the focus will be on the backline students. You realize all the focus, who has been the biggest players in this game so far? The heroes. So we're gonna cut off the heroes and then they're gonna be then we're gonna cut to the students before. It's like, no, what are the pros doing in order to like they have a plan? They're not just gonna let this nigga run through. Like, yes, Maki can blitz through these niggas, but he's gonna build some type of tension, at least for a split second, to make us think like, oh my god, they might hold Maki back. Although we know they're not gonna stop the nigga. It's just right in 1-on-1 because we know they're not gonna stop Shigaraki, but he's still building tension up to it. It's not just like
I
y'all just throwing the heroes
And
off
like
the
I
board.
said, it had to have taken. There has to be a reason that it's taken him this long to get to the point where she's trying to stop it.
Okay, I
That's
don't
what
think I think we're disagreeing more so on the time it took him
Technically,
to
she didn't
get
stop him.
Motley. I don't think it's been that long. Okay, so like realistically, from the time this raid has started to where we are currently with Shigaraki, at most it's been 15 minutes to 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. At most, that's stretching it because we knew the miracle stuff and all that happened in 5 minutes, and then Shigaraki coming out, like it hasn't been that long. I think we guys are like overblowing how long this whole arc is. It's kind of like the raid in Hunter x Hunter where they did the palace. Like it's really not that long. Like
Okay, using Hunter x Hunter as an example, though, a lot of stuff was happening during the course of that raid. And
No.
There was plenty of stuff that like. It was
I'm
like,
not-
wait, I have to tell you this. Also, you have to know this part.
But
And the whole
Horikoshi's and
narrative.
Tagashi writings are like totally different. But I'm just speaking on the fact that when we watching Hunter x Hunter or reading it, it felt like a long time. But when they actually told you how long it had actually been, I was like, God damn, all that happened in 3 minutes? Like, I don't think it's been that long.
Also, Gigantomachia is not stopping. Like he's still trucking through, but like I think Manley just like a force resistance towards his his overall velocity of movement. So like she's getting pushed back while he's going towards where Shigaraki is, and like I don't feel like he's gonna stop anytime soon.
Well, that's not
Okay, can I?
Yep, say yes.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
think when we talk about the flashback, the 5-minute flashback, I think when we first mentioned this, nobody thought about just 2 panels because we were talking about we need to see what happened to Gang Orca, we need to see what happened to Fat Guy, we need to see you can't do this in 2 panels. So we didn't talk about a less than 1 chapter flashback that just lasts 2 panels. If all we're talking about is 2 panels that kind of remind us of where we were at the last time we saw them and in what direction they moved, fine, no problem with that. I just don't think a prolonged flashback is necessary in this case.
Yeah, no, what
Nobody
we're talking
said-
about is
yeah,
like a
nobody said-
3-4 page, real quick. This is just what happened.
Yeah, that's
Get you
what I'm
like-
saying. Nobody talking about a whole flashback chapter entirely. It's like I kept using the reference for Tokoyami. I was like, it took him 3 pages, pull up on Hawks again, and then they did the entire thing again. That's my thing. It's
no,
like,
for example, you
this-
mentioned that we need to know what Gang Orca's fight was, and I don't think we need to know this.
No, I don't mean
it's perfectly fine to know that he fought with somebody.
No, I don't mean his 1v1 brawl. Like, okay, we fought. No, I mean what in Gang Orca. It's not like this. Like, oh my god, there's a big monster, and then they're just standing there. I'm like, okay, what did they make a plan? It was like, okay, you guys get back here. We need to stop this fucking giant beast from going everywhere. That's what I'm saying. It's like they would have had some communication, but like, okay, you do this, you do that, something. I'm like,
Okay, so
I'm saying they were
sit there and let it
standing there.
happen.
Let me ask you.
That takes like 5 pages.
Let me ask you all the
if I
question.
understand-
Oh, go ahead,
Okay.
bro. Go ahead, Ponzu.
Okay, like I want to say because I was listening to y'all because I was thinking to myself, but yeah, what we want to know right now for the most people, if I understand, is what we want to see the heroes act like an organized team to stop Machia. If I understand well.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it.
Correct.
I feel like
here's the thing. Horikoshi has always highlighted how like competent the heroes were, or like because in the same way he highlighted their complacency, he's been driving home how much people have been trying since the fall of All Might. So it'd be kind of weird to like stop doing that at this point in the story when like, is that your Remusha? No. Anyway, it'd be really strange for him to do that, like stop emphasizing their efforts at this point in the story when this arc is all about them trying and failing ultimately. So to not see, like, oh, this is the strategy or anything like that, or even just Dabi compress and Spinner immediately like hopping on, because Spinner also was nowhere near any of these people. So there's like a certain amount of like, where was everybody? Like, yeah, you can just go, oh, he smelled them out and like just instantly grabbed everybody, but that
Spinner was
That's why
downstairs
we
with
need- that's
Machia.
why
Spinner
that
was
we
downstairs
need-
with Machia.
Yeah, Spinner was down.
no,
Need
Spinner
the
was
cards.
in the conference room
You
with
need the map.
Skeptic.
You need the map. You need the map also
Hello?
for next chapter. And next chapter, I think that we need a map for the situation, how to for the mission, just to know, like for the little flashback that we need, how they regroup, like for 2 pages of 3 of the chapter.
Yeah.
Allez, in my eyes, just to know how people how the Liberation Army regroup to get on Machia's back,
Is
because
Machia in love?
because Machia was on his own.
Somebody says that.
Sorry.
Is Machia in love?
What?
Who?
What?
Look at the last bubble.
Yeah, somebody said that shit. Somebody's
Like,
like,
you know,
Machia
it was
got a
Anarchy.
romance.
No, it wasn't Anarchy. It was
Oh,
No,
snap.
in the chat, somebody said he got a romance panel or some shit like that.
I
Like
see
if
what
you
you're
look
talking about.
closely, he's got the little circles that like literally pop up in the anime background when somebody's staring at their crush.
Holy shit, you're right.
Really? I'm gonna see it right now.
Like,
What?
go to the last page and look at the Machia. Like he's got the little circles.
Circles.
Machia finna switch teams? Let's go.
Oh, that.
Is that
Oh,
why he
that.
hasn't bulldozed through
Yeah,
it right away?
shout out to Coyote. He was the one that said that shit.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. That's
Shout out
I didn't even
That's a
catch
nice
that
little
from the
detail.
chat. I was just looking at it.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Coyote said something earlier, but I didn't know what he was talking about, and then we got into something, so I forgot. But shout out to Coyote Charter. He said it earlier.
And let me ask
What?
you.
What are you talking about, guys? I don't see it right now, really.
I'll
No,
put all
look.
the students.
Look at
No,
the
wait,
bottom
look.
left panel. Like at the very
Yeah.
last panel, look at the bottom left where she says he's not going anywhere. He's got that weird look on his face, but if you look, he's got the trophy like circle bubbles drawn by his like nose
Yeah.
area and his eyebrow.
Yeah, it's the bottom panel. It's the last panel of the chapter.
Okay.
Hey, let me ask you. Do y'all feel like that one kid with the saucing quirk? You know, he can
Oh
sauce
yeah,
on the
see
ground.
that? Oh shit, man. Oh,
Yeah.
see the.
See, you see, yeah.
What'd you say,
Hey,
Tom?
Tom, to answer your question is be fun. It's funny because actually either
taxi-
prove that you move fast enough or you got enough strength that like you can kind of maneuver out of the mud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Maki can also throw air blasts. We seen that. It wasn't like when they were first like training and he was talking about how it's been a month and they all attacked him and then he just like shot out an air blast. But you know, core question does subtle details because you don't know they got like multiple quirks, but we don't know like any of them.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that
the
He
thing
got
is-
a rocky back. I don't know why. So that must be one of his quirks too.
yeah.
So aside from Mount Lady, nobody's gonna stop this man from getting to where he needs to be.
That's why I said. That's why I said. Kami was coming, suppression god. I mean, not like he really finna stop him, but you still need to go.
You gonna tag along, bro? Tag along the leg or some shit.
He was like, "Hey,
I
what's up,
think that-
LOV?"
You saw what happened with him.
Skeptic. You see Skeptic, Toga, Dabi. I think Dabi can just put her in flames. Literally, he can do that if you want to. So the people who are right now on the back of Gigantomachia can just attack
And Spinner on top of him.
Lady and put her down.
Spinner does too. Yeah.
Like,
Just some.
I mean, realistically, all Dobby has to do is stand on his head and fire in front of him.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. The only thing to do.
looking like the
Cause-
Fire Nation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Maki don't give a fuck about that shit. He
Or-
showed it one time.
Or behind him, like, because Makia doesn't need help with anybody in front of him. Dobby could just handle anybody behind him.
I mean,
Well,
but
at this
would that be
point,
the best?
behind
Would that
him
be
is the allies.
yeah? Would that be the best move? And would Dobby that be the best move for Dobby? Dobby wouldn't overexert himself, but would that be the best move? Because we still got members down there fighting.
So,
Mhm.
What you mean, so nigga?
do you think Dobby cares?
You get
My-
also
Exactly.
here's the thing.
Exactly.
the ice guy.
Exactly.
The ice guy can put some ice things in her, ice spikes in her and everything. So they've chose to put her down. Right now, they've so many choices to put her down. So
Yeah, but like Compress and Dobby were ready to dip out on everybody. Like they only care about the league member. Like
Yeah,
as
that's
much
what-
as, but what I'm saying is like, like those are inconsequential like members to like Makia. He could run over as many Metal Brushing Army members as possible. He doesn't care. Shigaraki gave him an order. Whoever is in his way that's not essential to Shigaraki is getting bulldozed out of the way. Like,
but
according
you
to
know they
Maki.
go but you know they're on that team, so they're not gonna try to stop him. Unlike some heroes are gonna be like, we can't let this nigga through. They're gonna be like, shit, nigga, that's not my job no more. See,
They're
like
just-
he's helping us out. But even
They're-
with like I said though, I said two things when I said Dobby. I was like, we think Dobby will really even do that himself? Because that's
No.
overexerting himself in the first place, which he don't like doing.
I'm saying if people are like trying to attack them from behind, yeah.
Oh, okay, then that's different. Trying to attack them from behind.
I mean, because like Gang Orca and them are I would assume are behind Giganta because of where they started.
I
Well,
mean,
that's-
that's
and
what I
that's
was
the
trying.
thing.
That's what we
That's
that's
why
what we
we're
were trying
like-
to say earlier. But y'all was like, we don't want. I'm trying to say it don't take a whole flashback chapter to get back to the point. But again,
You
I'm
can-
just saying it takes like three pages to be like, oh shit. Meanwhile, at the mansion, it's like Makia bust through this, that, and other. Like, okay, look, hey, Mount Lady, get over here. Yo, we need this person with this quirk, this person, this quirk. You over here. What you guys doing? Blah blah. Like y'all trying to like get to the back of the class already to one. People trying to get to 1A, 1B. Yeah, they get their time when they get their time. Let the pros do what the hell the pros are doing. They're in the back. People are in the back for a reason. The pros are up front for a reason. Let's let them do a little bit more work too to suppress this fucking giant monster, Godzilla, walking through the city.
My
I don't think they
my point was that all the heroes working together, giving out commands and stuff, that could all happen in the present. And like realistic, like here's exactly how I imagine this went down. Makia came out the hole. Boom, there goes Toga. Boom, he can smell of them. There goes Dobby. There goes Compress. People are attacking Makia. He knocking them off. Boom, boom. Picks up, smells the rest of them, grabs them, heading for it. Like yes, it's nice to see that, but I don't think it's I really don't think it needs to happen.
you focusing
the-
too much on Makia picking everybody up. We're talking about what the heroes are doing to prevent, or what they're doing to prevent Makia. We're not talking about him picking the league one by one. We're talking about what the
Horikoshi
heroes
has
are
done
doing.
this. Horikoshi has done this before when plans are like thoughts in people's heads. You could do that too. You don't have to do a flashback. You can have the thoughts in their head in present time. Like
My-
that's
You
what
can
I'm.
have
my
a couple
thing is
chapters.
this.
That's what I'm saying.
Gang Orca was right next to, or was like really close to where Makia came out.
So was
So
Musha.
like you could argue that, and I've been trying to like, zoom in.
And Wash was right there at the epicenter of the hospital.
Yeah,
Like,
I,
what are you
was,
talking
I was
about?
the one claiming that
that-
Wash was dead, and everybody was
that's-
like, "No, that's crazy."
No, that's
but-
different. That's the
How is that
different?
How is that different?
That's a one touch decay.
Magia is a calamity. It's on the same level. If you're
This ain't
in his
One
way,
Piece.
okay, man. Yeah, but no, for real, Makia is a walking calamity. Like it's the same thing. If you're near Makia and he's angry or he's trying to have a goal accomplished, 9 times out of 10, you're dead.
Oh, okay. Let's put it like this. We got on one hand, we got Walking Godzilla, right? Okay, so let's put it like this. What did they do to stop Shigaraki's decay? Absolutely nothing. They ran for their fucking lives. What are they doing to stop Makia? Mount Lady's in the way. There's two differences. There's a slight hope, or you putting your all in. Of course, Makia's gonna bust through. They don't know how strong that nigga truly is. Nobody know how strong that nigga really is. Cause I'm pretty sure Twice wasn't telling these niggas Makia bust through the entire town, Daika City. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how truly powerful that motherfucker is. Like I don't even think Gran Torino know how powerful that nigga is. So it's like you could put your all into trying to stop Makia. You can't put your all in trying to stop the K. You get your ass out of there. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like they can but maneuver a plan. Ain't no plan when it comes to the K. You get your ass out of there.
think you guys are like really focusing too. Like I know the pro heroes are important to this arc, but I think y'all have gotten to the point where y'all are really like trying to see what. Like I don't think we have to see everything with the pro heroes. I really don't. Like if we think about it, we've only focused on like maybe like 4 or 5 pro heroes.
One of them being Gang Orca.
Barely. Like he gets like small panels that I gotta zoom in and see. Oh, there he goes.
But how many arcs was he in though?
So
he was in as many arcs as Mirko.
Okay. You know what? Let me play.
Actually, more.
He was in more. He's in more. How many arcs has Kamui Mutz been in, and how many times have we seen him? Like, are we playing this game? Like,
there's a difference between Gang Orca and Kamui though. Kamui is built up as like his narrative role is no. Look at their narrative roles because Kamui exists as
it's more important.
No, it's not.
No, you don't think Kamui is more important than Gang Orca?
And narrative wise, no.
Not at the moment. Not at the moment, but I feel he will in the future.
Like, I don't think Kamui's making out of this arc. If not,
he is.
He's the rising star.
Okay.
Yeah,
If he makes it out of this arc, not the next one.
No, like yeah, maybe, but I mean, like, actually, I doubt that too. Because the reason I say that is because of the fact that they keep pushing Kamui as this rising star, like this base of a next generation of heroes. So I don't think they're going to kill him off when from the start of the story to now. He has been talked about as this rising star in the face of society.
He's the rising star of the old system. That would be the perfect person to kill off.
No, exactly. But he's still a fresh face. So I feel like as the face of this new generation of heroes, not the one we're in right, not the up and coming one, the current generation of heroes. I feel that after this is all done, after society falls, he will be the ones helping lead the next generation.
And that's the point exactly. The kids don't know all the flaws of society. They don't know that shit. They're still a hella ignorant to all this stuff. So Rick the rookie will be the perfect person to like, I witnessed this, or this is the things we can change. Because the new face in the old system, he just came up into top 10. So he's realizing all this very fresh. So he's definitely a good person.
We have Miracle and Hawks that have been taken out of the battle. Those are the 2 people we need that you have to lead generation. If you have not been, literally at this point, if you have not been taken out of the battle, you're pretty much dead in my eyes. If you haven't been taken out of battles for safety purposes and you're not a kid, you're dead.
So here's the thing. My thing with Gang Orca is that just like you have Kamui Woods, who's been like up and coming, Gang Orca was a top 10 hero, was featured at Kamino, he was at Kamino. He was at the license exam. He was remedial course arc relevant. He's made it a point to get like panels during this arc. Gang Orca has been important to several of the students.
Thanks, Tarnish.
And he's been like in the story consistently. They've both been here, and there's a reason for both of them to get emphasis and like to see both of them die if they die. There's just like the justification is there because their attachments. They've been around, like Gang Orca has more interactions with them than fucking Wash. So Wash getting off panel, barely getting off panel, if we're being honest, isn't the same as like Gang Orca like getting murdered.
I didn't say Gang Orca was dead yet.
Actually, let me. I got a question too, Annika, when you finish.
So like to me, he's gonna have to like there needs to be like him like at least throwing a sonic blast or something at Machia because he's not just gonna. It's
possible, but he doesn't have to be dead yet, and we don't have to go back to see if he's not dead. We don't have to go back to see him not being dead. He could just show up, and we could say, okay. Like, I think like the more we honestly, this is my opinion. The more we focus on these little things, the more like long and like drawn out this art gets, and I think the longer this art gets, the less good it becomes.
This is not, but this is for the future. All this stuff is leading up to set precedent for the future. It's like, okay, we can what didn't work for Machia this time, or to show like it was like, okay, look how the heroes got watched this time around, and they didn't work, or oh my god, this kind of stopped Machia before, this is briefly stunning him. So but let me actually ask y'all this, since Sayas and Rex are against like a whole like idea of even cutting back. So let's picture this. So Machia runs through Mount Lady next chapter, and then what happens after that? We cut to this all the people in the back row.
No, I think we'll see what the children will do.
Yeah, exactly. So what about the actual pros who were?
Oh no, you just did a real leading scenario where we have to decide of how it happens if Machia just immediately bulldozes through.
How y'all picture it? Because
this is how I picture it. This is how I picture it going down. I picture it, Maki. Now that love panel really threw me off, but I'm gonna just assume that that's nothing, and that's just Horikoshi, like just doing whatever. But I feel that Mount Lady has a little tug and war with Giganto, maybe a couple of seconds. But after that, we still have Midnight. We have all these other heroes. I think they make a concentrated effort to stop Makia. I think that can last like 75% of the chapter, where like their efforts and them communicating like, hey, let's try this. Hey, let's do this team up attack. I feel like that can last 75% of the chapter. And then the last 25%, you can see like the kids talking about what's all that noise, and then we just see Makia come out the forest. Or we could go back to Shigaraki. Like there's so many ways that this can go. I just don't think that it's necessary for us to go back to go forward in this scenario. And this one specific, before this, I would have agreed. Like everything else, I agree. A flashback, like Tokiyami, the mirror, like everything else. But I just think this one specific scenario, I do not think that we need to go back. Just mainly because, just because of what's going on with Shigaraki. If the Shigaraki stuff hadn't panned out like the way it is, and this wasn't like at this climax point, I would have said, "Oh yeah, let's go back." The reason I'm saying we don't go back is because of just how intense the stuff is going on at the hospital. That's the only reason.
But that's not the only thing going on. Like. It's just how Horikoshi does everything in hindsight. Yeah, it's the most tense stuff, but he broke away for a reason. He cut off this point at this point for a reason. We think about how important this is. Everybody's thinking about this is the hype of stuff right now. Horikoshi doesn't just do stuff off the hype. That motherfucker is 10 steps ahead. He's cut here for a reason at the hype point. He knows his story better than anybody. He's more ahead than anybody at all. So he cut at this point for a specific reason. It's not just because it's hype doesn't necessarily mean, because we have to think about the grand scheme of everything building up, leaning down, and come back. Oh shit, this was set up for this, that, and the other. So it's like, okay, it's like we got to think like, okay, there's more some long-term stuff to it too. And y'all talking about, okay, we don't need to see like Gang Orca and them do like you just including Gang Orca and them even doing anything. Like it takes like 3 chapters, like, okay, we need to do this, that, and the other. But then it's like, yeah, but then we cutting back to the kids already. So that means the troll just got washed just like that in 2 seconds. That means the kids getting blown through like it ain't no tomorrow.
So here's the thing, like every time that we did get like a let's go back time in this arc, it's always been before the climax of like something happened. It's never been during the actual climax of something happening.
Okay, so that depends on how you perceive like before the climax.
Because, okay, I mean real like with Shigaraki. I'm specifically centering around Shigaraki and him actually fighting.
So you're referring to like, so you're saying that because of where we are with Shigaraki, the other parts of the story don't necessarily need to be.
Thank you, Tarnish.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Hey, shout out to Tarnish. Shout out to Tarnish real quick.
Shout out, bro. But I'm not saying anything is less important. I'm saying because we're moving so rapidly forward to then go back. Like when we went back previously, it was like, okay. It was like we were just about the climax, and then it was like, wait, before we get there, let me pan out this other stuff. But now it's like we've already hit a climax. So now let me go back and show you how the rest of this climax is going to finish. I don't think we go back to the mansion to get flashbacks at this point. We've done it, I think, too many times at this point. I think we continue forward, and if we need to have some dialogue, so with something that Horikoshi does a lot is he will have a character, like I said, a character think, and you can have like his thought process with the character and like of what the plan was, or a flashback in like a small upper corner or something. That happens a lot. I don't think we need a page. I don't think we need 2 pages of a flashback. I think we just continue forward where we are, and everything can be explained as we're moving in present time. I don't think we need to go back. I think all of the stuff that you guys are asking for can be explained in present time. I don't think we need to go back for it.
Also, small W on a real quick take here. Remember I was like, nah, Bakugo and Midoriya have combo moves planned. That's why he went for a grapple. Mm-hmm. If you relook at those panels and you zoom in, Midoriya actually uses Black Whip on Shigaraki's shoulders to backflip behind him while Bakugo's yelling, let's do this thing rationally so that he can barrage him with the cannon shot. So
I'm just very impressed by Shigaraki just no diffing them.
Yep.
So amazing. So amazing.
These guys unstoppable right now. These guys just like
wait, Ponzu, you're a robot.
I don't know what you just said, bro. Sorry.
Sorry.
You turned into a robot there for a second.
Oh, okay. I don't know why right now. So, we were talking about, for the next chapter. In my eyes, did we talk about the fact that Shigaraki and our All for One guy have their own vestiges?
So, okay, actually, that is something that I kind of wanted to like touch on. Is that part of why, like, when we talked about like, well, why was One for All so strong with All Might? Da, 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 da. And I think part of it is how long a quirk is built up within a person, partially like influences its power. But then, All for One has had All for One for over 100 years, and he's the only vestige. So you could also argue that all quirks, when passed on because of their personality impact and all that other stuff, have a form of vestige. It's just a matter of, or at the very least, these two quirks specifically automatically come equipped with vestiges if they are so much as passed along. So from that perspective, I think it's kind of crazy how Shigaraki can decay the vestiges within. I don't think that's just symbolic. I think he can kind of decay anything, and we're going to see that like start ramping up more and more throughout the series, more than likely.
So
Wait,
so you think he literally decayed All for One's will?
Out of his, he might have actually literally decayed All for One's will.
I was thinking about this myself, that he just decayed, decaying is more about the concept about decaying than more about decaying like the physical way. Yeah, physical way, yes.
Because he's decaying society, he's decaying, like his sanity was starting to decay a little there. His body like falls apart when he everything is capable of being decayed. So why not the vestiges themselves? At the end of the day, they're just leftover information. So
what happened to Shigaraki face? Where did that cut come from? Because I'm looking at
the power inside, bro.
His head split open when he was
So if you actually look at his eyes, and it just references like All for One busting out. Like, I'm not saying like it's suppressing erasure or like it's going past it, but me and Ian were talking about that. It's like if you look at his eyes, and it's like a quirk starts like it's like molding. It's just like his decay almost. Like when you see like in the dream sequence, and then when it's coming out, it's almost like his decay is literally like busting in from the inside. And I think that just forms a quirk singularity and how he is the ultimate thing.
You said like you said a cut on his face, right?
Yeah.
The one that busted open after he
look at pages 8 through 9. He goes, like, you look at him, he doesn't have the cut. We're giving a race to the sport. He needs Bakugo. You cover Deku. Acquire One for All.
I see.
And then all of a sudden his head splits open.
I don't but like this is like I'm pretty sure this is significant, and we'll get an explanation. But like, I'm just trying to figure out where did this come from, because this isn't like an injury that anyone else inflicted on him. It is the
effect. It is the effect of his quirk, because when he was a kid, he was eating itself, and I think when he uses his quirk, it's like also degrading himself, decaying himself, you know.
So like his skin is breaking down here, and it's like but it's like happening really fast.
I think because I mean I noticed that the cut comes after that throbbing pain.
Yeah.
Wait, could this be an issue of his quirk is deactivated, so his skin is finally beginning to tear from all the wear and tear?
Yeah, that's part of it. Like his skin is automatically like weaker, and you have to remember that just because his quirk isn't active, I don't think that necessarily erases the fact that he's borderline allergic to shit he hates. And so being surrounded by these circumstances, having like the All for One will trying to take over his body, like
there's something else that came to my mind though. You notice that like the injuries he has before he gets his regeneration doesn't like they don't like come back, like, they don't get fixed.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, would the same concept apply to erasure?
So in this particular context, it's a little different. The way it works is wounds that have already been established, scar tissued over, etc., don't heal. But specifically, so like once he's done being erased, the burn on his left arm was gonna like heal over. I don't one of the things that I think might happen here, though, is that this particular wound will not heal, and it'll be a byproduct of like just the decay quirk being like better than everything else.
So
And
like,
so he might never get that back, and that might scar over because Horikoshi is dedicated to adding scars to people. It also might mean that we're just going to be seeing Shigaraki's face from now on throughout the series. No more hand on the mask.
yeah, like, and also like back to All For. So I'm assuming Shigaraki has the same regeneration quirk that All For One had, and All For One made it a point to say that if he would have found the quirk when he was freshly damaged, he would have been able to heal up. But because his body had naturally healed itself, and then he got the quirk, it wouldn't heal. So as long as Shigaraki stays, as crazy as it sounds, but as long as he stays freshly damaged, he will heal from all this. But the moment that he starts to naturally heal is the moment that his regeneration wouldn't work.
Oh, so you're saying like I can't imagine that they'd be able to keep him erased for that long.
Well, of course, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm making that to say that he will all this damage will be regenerated. Maybe not the scar on his face because that particular wound is really weird, and I don't. And if you keep going through the chapter, it's spreading. Like it's down. It's now like on page 14, 15. It's down to his cheek. His chin, and it looks like it's starting to go down to his neck.
Wait, what page did you say?
14,
yeah, okay.
Because 8 or 9, I actually look in the bottom, like in the bottom corner of his face, and you can still see it already. It's already at his chin from the start.
When you see little brother, it's down there. So like it's down
it's like it's always that's where it started. It started.
Except I think that's just a blood trail, because if you look on page 9, like the blood is like drooping down. So it might just be a blood trail going down to his chin, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, that's a blood trail. And then if you like look at the pages after. Yeah, I'm positive because if you look at the next pages, like if you just keep going, it becomes more pronounced. Then like
12. I say that because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this small panel on page 9 where it says your will is too strong, master. And
I know that. I know what you're saying, but then look at page 12 and 13. I mean, 12 and 13. Now it looks like an actual because when he says who, now it looks more like an actual scar than it does blood trail. And then
to you,
dude, really? Look at it.
It looks more like a blood trail than it looks like a scar on that page.
Dude, like look at the way it's like flowing, like the scar. And then if you keep going, and then if like I said, page 14 and 15 really shows like how.
So on 14, I'm gonna say this. The line under his eye going to his upper lip does look like it's tearing open more. But it is drawn specifically that there's like an extra bubbling towards the corner of his mouth, which indicates that it's following the flow of his lips and then trailing down his chin.
Also, depending on Shigaraki facial expression, the scar expands. So like if you look at 14, 15 when he's smiling, it looks like the scar looks bigger, but when his face is relaxed, it's smaller on 12 and 13. So like depending on like how he's moving his face, which is actually a nice touch about Horikoshi, but because that's how it literally like works on your like if you expand or
you can really see that he's under his flesh under the skin in the page 11 and also I see what you're okay. Whoa, Horikoshi is really good. He's really good at drawing things, right, man? Whoa.
So I'm just so happy that I might want to hold your ears real quick because I'm about to go off. I'm just so happy that we got that trash ass theory out of here. Thank God. I've been sick and tired of that dumb ass he taking Shigaraki body theory.
Where is Dustin at?
Man, you don't know how happy I am. He took that shit out of fucking pain. Thank God.
Okay, which theory? I'm really lost right now. Which theory?
So the theory is that Shigaraki is not the final villain. He won't be. He's too powerful, whatever. Not. So All For One is going to take Shigaraki's body, and then he's going to become the final villain via like Orochimaru, Kaguya, Naruto bullshit.
No.
This one that gives a very Soul Eater vibes.
Yeah, and understand the concept because that is what Horikoshi tried to show, but you see that
I actually don't think I don't think he was trying to show that.
No. It says no, like Sasuke did to Orochimaru. Said just no, man, shut up. It's my life. I will control my own life, man.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that was All for One trying to take over his body. That was his will. That was his will manifesting within his.
That's
Yeah,
why
it
he's
wa- it-
that's why he said your ego's too big and I don't need a phantom voice in my head.
Yeah, because he's not trying to take over. It's essentially the will that he left behind within his own quirk, trying to be like, "Hey, Shigaraki,
Okay.
go get that nigga right there."
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he spent like 100 years obsessing over like that one thing.
He's but a Quirk. He's but a Quirk.
Yeah,
Also,
like
I really love how the AFO vestige is headless.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
that's
if you look back, like even then, like the head still wasn't there.
I mean, if
Even
you look,
before he starts decaying.
like when he was in the dream sequence, when he was like with all the hands and stuff, he didn't have a head then either.
Yeah.
bro, that nigga got top 5 backstory in the series confirmed, dog. Like that
I
shit's
hate-
gonna be in
you know what?
OD.
I hate Horikoshi because nigga just show his face already, bro. Let's see what he looks like. Like, come on,
I
man.
tell you, that shit gonna be so clean. Bro, this
Oh,
is
no.
one of the biggest things.
Motherfucker,
Bro.
it better be after all this weight.
Bro.
What is he ugly? What he got pig nose?
Oh no.
No, I like I could just imagine like we see like a flashback to like All for One and his brother. Then we see All for One in that suit with that tie. Boy, ooh,
See,
he
what
looked
I
so
want,
clean.
I want us to get a flashback where we see All for One, but he's wearing a different suit, so like it doesn't immediately register as him. And like it's like a thing where we're just walking through the story, like experiencing like this story, whatever that's happening in the past. And then
you heard-
like at the end of the chapter or like the end of the chapter after that, we realize no, that was All for One. I don't want him like even when Horikoshi gives it to us, I want it to be in this roundabout way that we don't fully recognize.
Yo,
I just want to hear at the end. It is for you, Mr. Shigaraki, and you see the smile on his face.
Yeah, I need like a bleach level panel, like you know how they all got the all white background and the nigga in the forefront. I need it just like that, like that nigga taking over Grand Buddha style, like he is the king there, God. I need that shit.
what I really want to happen is that we get like a flashback, but we aren't explicitly told who flashback it is. So we go through like a chapter of like this person doing stuff, but at no point is it hinting that it's All for One. Like and then like the second chapter it ends with like All for One killing like one of the previous users of One for All, and then we see his face, and then like it, bro, and like we started to like get hints of like who he was. It doesn't have to be like right after he gave his brother. This could be like maybe 50 or 60 years after the initial creation of One for All. But I would love to see like All for One just in his prime doing stuff, and then like the second chapter, like we like blank Shigaraki backstory, like you know his first and last name backstory, like how he did Tomura Shigaraki and Shigaraki Tomura.
So,
Yes.
you know what would be really nice then?
What?
A 9 chapter arc. Make it like 10. Bear with me here. 9, 10 chapters. It's like the vestiges arc. So the arc sets off with Deku like going like back, and then you get 7 like flashback chapters in a row, and each one is like their final encounter with AFO. So
That would be dope. That would be dope.
Like yeah, so you get like an All for One flashback plus an explanation on like the 7 different vestiges that like came before, and like how they went out, and it's all like a way to like build up to who All for One was, and then that's how we finally get the big reveal. Like this is what All for One looked like, and like you never see his face in those fights for like 7 chapters just to really build it up.
Actually, now that you said that, I think this arc, because we all know Deku's getting away, I think that the way that this arc kind of ends is that Deku is going to be in extreme danger, and to prevent him from dying, because he has 45%, I think more than Float is going to wake. I think maybe one other quirk is going to awaken that's specifically able to get him out of the situation that he's in. And I think that I was thinking about what if one of the quirks is a teleportation quirk?
That's busted.
That's not. I don't think so because I don't think Bakugo would say that shit was trash.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
his quirks have to be something that on the surface don't seem that good.
No.
For him, but for him would be raw.
Okay, so here's my reasoning behind it is like if the original quirk wasn't okay, so the way I'm thinking of it is like a teleportation quirk that doesn't really work like a teleportation quirk. Kind of, you know how like Mirio like goes to the ground and it looks like he's teleporting, something like that. But because of One for All, but no, but because of one, like, because you know Mirio's whole quirk is permeation, but an application of the quirk is like it looks like he's teleported, but he's really not.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is
I feel I understand what you mean, but I don't know if you read my theory about what are the next quirks of Deku.
no, what's the theory?
I will show you. I will send you the link. But from what I'm seeing, the quirk that will appear for fleeing, the best quirk is Nana's quirk, and it
Oh
is
yeah,
like it's floats, and floats. He can give it to other people because Nana Shimura did it also. What to save All
my.
Might when she was facing All for One. She used it also on him. That's
No,
the best quirk.
I thought Gran Torino say that.
Yeah,
Gran
Gran
Torino
Torino
say
grabbed
that.
him because
No,
like
she touched him first, and we saw him floating, literally, like Uraraka's quirk, literally.
I like to think that it doesn't work that way. Otherwise,
Yeah,
Uranaka is useless.
Yeah,
as a
that
character.
that was my only thing. That was my only thing ever with My Hero. I have no gripes. I was 10 on 10. I trust Horror with everything. My only thing was that I didn't want these quirks to be too similar to people's quirk that already exist in the main cast or like that was around. But Horikoshi
I will
literally
tell you
addressed
something.
he
Hold
literally
up.
addressed it.
Because we mentioned quirks now.
Mhm.
So I actually got a theory about these quirks a while back, and I told Spicy OFA. I don't know if he's in the he's a Twitter user, goes by Spicy. I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but he actually sent me some stuff talking about the different parallels between certain abilities they had, but in addition to that, like different characters that he thought. And while he was like, yeah, it partially relies on the time travel theory, a lot of the quirks that he thought would be more in line are the Fantastic Four quirks, where you already have the reference of like Spider-Man with the Black Whip. Then you have Airwalk, which is just like a standard like superhero ability. But then you look at the abilities that AFO had, like Airwalk, Forced Activation, Air Cannon. These are parallels to abilities that Deku's already used so far, which is true. Like activating the quirk, with being able to run on the air due to 30% enhancement of strength, Air Cannon. So it's like all that stockpile strength or whatever is built up. But the main things are like he had like spring-like limbs. So if you look at it from that perspective, instead of having spring-like limbs, Deku could wind up with elasticity. He had the force reversal. So what if Deku ends up finally getting like force field abilities so that he doesn't have to be touched? The combustion would be like the Bakugo thing, similar to not Mr. Fantastic, but Johnny Storm. And then like if the theory was true and it was like Bakugo and Kirishima who got sent back, and he would get the hardening of Ben Grimm through Kirishima. So
okay. The quirks that I know that there is a panel in the first chapter which where Hirokoshi shows heroes, and I use it for my theory to know the next quirks, and everything is like right now everything is like concording to it. Like
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What do you say? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Okay,
you
so
get Superman. I'm gonna send into the chat the link for the thing you will see because it's just long to explain.
Yeah, but like BG, real quick, BG, in the first chapter of My Hero, when it's explaining heroes, Horikoshi makes a point to draw like Superman, Spider-Man, Wolverine in his panels. So
yeah,
which is still something that I'm also for, because I like the idea of him having ranged claw attacks and using like air slices. Because
so you're saying that you think that the quirks he's going to get are going to resemble those motherfuckers?
Yes,
he's already got. Yeah, he's already got Float, which is Superman. He's already got Black Whip, which is Spider-Man. So next
Float?
could be. So what?
I would think that the Superman one would be represent all for one for all itself, because
because All Might's on the next page or the next panel, so like that's not what that's.
Oh, I see.
And the image there which Superman is drawing is of him flying.
Yeah.
Yep. Specifically in the classic fist raised.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at this, and you have Wolverine, Superman, Devilman, Spider-Man. I think that's Moon Knight, Kamen Rider, and somebody else.
That would actually line up the Superman for Nana thing, the Superman for Float thing, because if you look at Nana, she built like fucking Superwoman.
Actually, I'm gonna send it to you.
There's something about that though, because there's 7 people in this picture, so that's why I go back to what I said before. That's why I go back to what I said before about Superman representing All Might's strength, because because there's 7 people, and then he has 7 quirks technically because of one for all, but on their own there's just 6.
You can use because Kamen Rider can be All Might, because All Might transforms like Kamen Rider. He has also the antennas like Kamen Rider, and he has also and Kamen Riders don't have powers. They transforms like we saw All Might transform to his old form, like muscular form. I use it in my theory. So it can be, and yellow is also the color for insect and everything. So you get also the parallel there.
So you're telling me Coda can die?
Yes, please.
Wait, I'm gonna see right now. I'm gonna see. I don't find the conversation, the chats, because I'm not on my laptop. So I'm gonna send it to you, Aniki, so you can send it in the chat for the people to see where are my comparisons for the quirks. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Yeah. So JJ Candelabara, Wolverine's ability was the super regeneration plus the claws. The claws were originally just bones, but the animanium made them like special. At first, they were just regular bones.
The guy.
Adamantium also hurts his
I feel like high key,
Yeah.
they probably still be regular bones. That's probably why Bakugo would call it shit.
Okay, the sixth one, the sixth user of One for All, his arm, he has something in his arm, like a bone claw or something like this. And also it is the arm who was blown off.
Holy shit.
Yes, when I was shocked when I saw that it's the same arm was blown off by All for One before he gave the hair to Nanashimura. I use everything. I send it to you, Aniki. You can.
I sent it to the Zoom chat real quick.
Yes, put it in the chat because I make all the comparisons to which person will represent which hero, and what kind of card it can be. Because what does Horikoshi? He used the concept of their powers and he spin them in his own manner. That's why That's why I don't understand. I'm not sure how they will look like, but I know that they will be similar to it. You know.
Good catch, Ponzu. Good catch.
Very.
Okay, so I know this is like, what is this? What is this? Oh, okay. So y'all know the I wonder if I could post it in here real quick. I'm gonna post it in the Zoom call.
All right.
Let's see. Look at this picture of all the One for All users. One of those users looks exactly like what's going on with Shigaraki right now, his face. And I don't know if that has something to do with anything.
I don't know. You're talking about the third one.
He's talking about the one with the big scar on his face, right? That's what you mean?
Yeah, the third one, yeah.
I don't know if that has it.
The fourth one, sorry, the fourth one, yes. The
I don't
one
know
with the demon looking style, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with anything.
No, I don't think so. It's just maybe his quirk or something like this. You never know. But yeah, I compare this to the Devilman. Also has similar things as on his face too. So yeah, because he also, that's why I'm more shocked, is because he used also the first superhero, the first hero on TV, Japanese TV. He used it also on this panel. So you never know. The first one to get the quirk of the second one to get the quirk of One for All could be somebody who's just like a vigilante also, or a villain. I think that was one of my thinking, that it can be also a villain. That's why they can see him, and he will be using. He was using guns and everything, but I'm not sure of it.
Yeah, I still think that one of the One for All users was not a good guy.
Yeah, because in my eyes, the ones who were next to because All for One always keep controlling his body, wanting to control his body, to show that he was that. Okay, how can I explain this in a right way? Okay, All for One wanted to the acknowledgement of his brother because he's the only person he really loves in his life. It was his brother, you know. So when his brother didn't give the acknowledgement of him being the good one, being the hero of the story, he kept like a focus in his life to have also his quirk too, because he couldn't have it.
Ooh.
That's why yeah, I have brothers and sisters in my life, and I can understand how we can feel when you know that everybody around you can 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 stab you in your back, but your brother is, yeah, that's blood. This is the only thing that you will love always. Even if he hates yourself, he hates you, you will always love him in a kind of way. And it is like a warped kind of love that All For One has for his brother, that he wants to keep him close to him. And I'm thinking about myself that he was trying to bring his brother in his side of his side of the air, his side, just in his side, but he never could. That's why he became like an obsession to him, and I think that he put him in a cell, and when his brother died, his brother gave one of his hair to one of All For One's men. All For One's men. I'm thinking that this really.
So you're thinking that part of the reason why we don't know the second or third user is because they've been like, they were way more low key about it.
Yeah, they were more lucky about it, so they survived. And even when we think about the time, the time that people had the quirk, they can be like 5 years or 10 years maximum in my eyes. And I think the one who had the quirk the longest were the second and third one, because they were just hanging around All For One. They were hanging around All For One, working for him just to survive, just to keep making the quirk stronger and give it to the next generation.
That would actually be like a good, because then that would also be a further justification for the vestige flashback thing, where we finally get a little more context into like how One For All actually managed to make it through like 8 people is kind of astounding.
Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself that every time he tried to do like a detective work to find who is the one that was the mother's quirk, and that's why that the third one went out this way to give to a really to a true hero, to the quirk, like and yeah, that's why we don't see them, because they did some bad things in their lives. They killed people. They were like bad guys just to survive.
Mm.
And that would explain why, because I assume the brother of One For All controls specifically what Deku sees. So if he didn't think Deku was ready to take in that type of information, and I think that goes along with when Deku is finally on his own and they have to do things that they normally wouldn't do, it would give more context to the second and third user, because then like Deku could understand, because if he sees that now, he's like, these bad people had One For All, like his mind is still so naive to a certain extent.
Yes. You're really saying what I was thinking to myself, because when you hear what All For One All Might did to All For One, how bad that he beat his ass in a manner that he looks like a pasta. I will say it in my eye, like a cookie dough, literally. So that's why that we don't see in my eyes, that we don't see, because he's also alive, but we don't see him like properly, because he went like to the dark side of the force for one moment. And this is something that Deku is not ready to see from All Might. Just imagine Deku seeing All Might killing All For One with his bare hands. How it will shock him. Just thinking this, that his power comes from people that did things like this.
It'll make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
All right,
because
all right. Well, wanted to get I wanted to see what, because two people have been really quiet. Seiya and Tom been quiet.
Yeah, I've been a little bit distracted. Sorry.
Okay, and Tom.
yeah, so who's making some noises right now? I don't know.
Tom might have something going on in the background. I can't tell.
Okay. So yeah. Say yes. What do you think about it? Because we didn't hear what you said.
But what exactly? As I said, I was distracted.
He was like knocking, probably like drawing another Endeavor fan art.
No. No.
So
My question is though, where do you guys, regardless of how you feel about like a flashback or anything like that, what do you think is actually coming, like these next chapters? Because one, I think it's worth like noting that as much as Shigaraki kind of shrugged off like Bakugo and them, this is kind of showing that if they land blows on him, it kind of matters in this physical state. Like, yeah, he's got the recovery, whatever, but the fact that he got juggled comboed into the Vanishing Fist, which is probably going to do the most damage, we'll see Shigaraki take this arc. Because Endeavor didn't aim for the head. Look, here's the thing.
the fun.
You have everybody's like the Thanos testing, but it's like literally in this case, this is the case of why didn't you just burn his fucking brain away?
It's just the power. It's just literally the power from the dusting. Is power is decaying literally. So yeah, I understand why you did it. That's a good one.
So this is why.
Yeah, it's similar.
I think that Shigaraki loses here, and he's like in handcuffs, and he's getting escorted away, and that's when Maki comes up. And funny enough, what I think happens is Aizawa is constantly looking at Shigaraki, but when Giganto lands,
he blinks.
Not that he dust eye, like physical dust, like just gets all in his eye, and he has to blink for a second. And I think Manuel is going to have a lapse in like his watering because of like what happened, and then that split second, Shigaraki is going to instantly regenerate and he's going to kill Aizawa right there. I think that's what happens.
I don't think he's going to get beaten. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
The same thing for me. In my eyes, it is just like we will see Makia coming into the scene, and people and Manuel will look at it, be shook by his size, so it will like disturb him from his work for Aizawa. Aizawa will blink, and Shigaraki will do his work. I don't know how, but he will do his work.
Why don't you see Shigaraki losing?
It's no point. Like, why would you like build out like okay, loot in handcuffs? Hell no.
Yeah, definitely not that.
On like one knee, you know, like kind of like tired, and there's like, okay, we just need one last blow to take him out the paint. Yes, I can see that. Handcuffs, hell no. They already stopped with the hand. They already stopped with that. They said this nigga need to go. This is not like kiddie time anymore. They literally said we need to neutralize him. He gotta go. He don't need to wait. It's not time for handcuffs anymore.
See, no. If that were true, Endeavor would have punched him in the face. Because
narrative points. You know narrative points because Endeavor should have been dead by now.
No. They capture all for one. So we know that. I'm doing quotation marks right now. Y'all can't see me, but I'm doing quotation marks. You know that you can hold a user that has all for one in Tartarus. I'm doing quotation marks. So like at the end of the day, even if Endeavor wanted to kill Shigaraki, there's enough heroes around there to like, no, we don't kill.
And the issue that like, and the thing is that
he's not human anymore. They don't see him as a human.
On a normal person anyway, if I'm being honest, Vanishing Fist would kill them because it's literally Endeavor shaping what looks like a flash fire fist, making it like twice as big as his body and running it through you. So like by all rights, it's basically a really controlled condensed prominence burn, like when Ichigo stopped firing Kuroi Getsuga Tensho while in Bankai, but instead will like keep it infused with the blade. It's kind of like that, where with the amount of damage Shigaraki has taken here, we saw that the flames did actually burn him. This should actually put enough damage on him where him being in cuffs isn't that crazy.
Yeah.
The reality is like, especially because it does a great job of baiting the people who are like, oh, MHA is in its final arc. MHA is in its final arc. Those
And not only
people,
that, it gives the heroes a second wind of hope. Like
before
did
everything is crushed and taken away.
yeah.
I disagree on that point because of the fact that it definitely seems that to me that's too obvious. That's way too obvious. Because the fact is, what is it?
It's obvious that they are winning this arc, but people still think it.
No, I mean, yeah, no. Well, what is it? Yeah, because we have people who don't pay attention to the story, but those who do pay attention, this is obvious as fuck that it's not going to be that they're not going to get away with that.
Because that's playing too much to the extreme on it. Because like I said, you can still get Shigaraki losing air quote one knee. You don't have to let's say put this nigga in handcuffs.
They don't have handcuffs, obviously.
So
they don't even have handcuffs. Shit.
I'm telling you something. I'm telling you something right now. Shigaraki just need a stone and like flick it to Aizawa. He's dead.
Yeah, true.
Really.
And plus, he still has the bullets.
Yes.
To me, I feel that they're going to pull up before anything like that can happen.
Like yeah, that's cool and all, but I just think that giving the heroes a false sense of security is like again, just because something is obvious and that is going to happen doesn't mean it's bad. Y'all love to say that Davius Todoroki is obvious, but I'm using what y'all say all the time.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean.
Don't get back to that.
That's not what I mean.
But if it's just because it's obvious,
that's not at all what I mean. You know that, Rex.
No. Hold on, real quick. But this is what I'm saying. Y'all say stuff like this, like just because it's obvious doesn't mean it's going to be bad. Like, yes,
I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm saying because of the fact that there's going to be something that's going to get resolved within a chapter later. I don't see it being something like that because that's way too obvious.
Wait, hold up. Shigaraki was literally on the ground, knocked out, and it's like, oh wait, he's done. Obviously, something's going to wake him up. Like I'm just confused. Like it happens once, y'all love it, then y'all like you don't want it to happen again. Like I'm just confused. Or like,
my thing is
you trying to play as black and white.
No. Okay. Time out. Because like my issue with them not being able to like hold Shigaraki here is that narrative speaking, like where the story has gone with this chapter, there is no reason they shouldn't be able to detain him until Machia gets there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like he's actually taking damage right now,
and he's not healing. There's no reason for Shigaraki to continue just trugging along.
Like,
well, I mean, with them saying he has the body of All Might, that actually is kind of a thing.
Well, so the thing is,
that's
though,
why
is
I'm telling you.
But the doctor said, okay, so this is Endeavor's point of view. The doctor said it's not up to the power of All Might. He's already said that.
No, obviously, I'm not saying it's literally like he has the body of All Might. I'm saying, but he does have a very enhanced and strengthened body.
But the thing is,
not quite to the level of All Might, but still pretty damn close.
The thing that's important to remember, though, is that during the final exam arc, when All Might got blasted with a gauntlet, he still had to sit down for a minute. He was like, whoa, all right, I'm still gonna run up and break your stuff, but like he still got put on his back for a little bit, and then pulled up.
Yeah, and it's not
with the help of his strength. That was with the help of his strength. Right?
And so my thing is that Shigaraki in a similar position gets hit with a gauntlet. You can see based on his face that like he's kind of got that, ooh, wait, that one actually stung a bit. Which is funnily enough, the same trap that All Might fell into, if you remember, where he pulled up on him, hit him with a bunch of mini blasts. All Might was like, yeah, those or whatever, got hit with a gauntlet, was like, hold up, that don't feel right. So having that combined with Vanishing Fist here, like it's hard to see this as a point in the story where, because Horikoshi is still gonna at least give the heroes like, there has to be a reason people had all this hope in the heroes. And when you have the speech of like the symbol that I am isn't the one that like doesn't have to be the same as yours, where Endeavor's like actually utilizing his teammates, all this other stuff, that like false hope, that belief kind of needs to be delivered upon here, especially because it narratively makes sense for them to have this optimistic moment where they've blasted him into the ground, they lit him on fire, he's not healing right now. but we know Machia is on the way, and we know that they have a bunch of Nomu that they're going to have to deal with too.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
in story, the heroes at no point in this arc has felt like they've had a win. At no point we've been seeing the hero side winning, but the heroes themselves haven't felt like they've gotten a W yet. So Shigaraki being put in handcuffs or something will be that W that they think that they got.
Because it's kind of like how we talk about the Toya reveal, which yes, I know Rex, you don't support that, but I always talk about how just because we get things outside of the story that's structured for us doesn't mean that that's what is happening for the characters in the story. So yeah, yes. We see Mirako rip through like 5-6 Nomu, and we're like, yeah, heroes out here coming out cut. The heroes think, holy shit, how many more of these are there? Then they get back there, she manages to kill one of them, and then it costs her an arm, can't even hit them anymore. They lose Crust. Everything they've done at best can be perceived as a hollow victory. They went there to arrest the doctor, so fine, they got a W by like Yamada still has the doctor next to him. But everything they lost, they're not going to feel good about it. The radio waves, like they're like, damn, Funk Men died. No, you can mourn later. As far as they're concerned, the hospital raid is a straight up failure. The whole point was to not let Shigaraki awaken, get the doctor before that. Like getting the doctor only mattered really if Shigaraki stayed asleep. Like him waking up cancels out anything you could perceive as a W for the heroes. The only real W that they can say they got is killing twice. And the only people who know about that are Tokoyami and Hawks.
Yep. And not even that, because them niggas said we need to get the doctor. If they don't have the doctor, then they can't escape the mansion. But they didn't count on Machia waking up. So these niggas all the villains about to escape the mansion regardless. Because Shot said we not letting a single one of these niggas get away, not even a mouse.
So that's why like the heroes kind of need at least one on paper looking victory for themselves to like really drive home that they ain't shit.
I can have that like whole handcuff thing. Like I said, if he plays it up like Shigaraki lost, I'm okay. Like Shigaraki on one knee or like he tired, you know what I'm saying? But the whole handcuff, the whole handcuff thing, nah. But like them have been like, yo, finally the dust is settled. We beat this nigga. He like, who the fuck sleeping?
Yeah. Who is that? It's either Tom or Paul.
Wait, everybody just be quiet real quick.
What? What's happening?
We were trying to figure out who was asleep. I was waiting for their square to light up.
Oh, somebody's asleep? Damn. It's a good napping Virgo. Damn.
It was probably Tom.
You know what's Tom?
It was Tom.
You saw he came back out?
Yep, that's Tom.
Yeah.
They said the BDA curse made it here.
Hey, shout out to that. I think
was that Fiji? Was that Fiji that was asleep on the BDA stream?
No, it was in Virgo. It was Virgo was sleeping.
Virgo.
Yeah, Virgo. They call him the napping Virgo since then.
Oh man.
So like really quick, like the whole reason why I think that Shigaraki getting handcuffed and then the heroes thinking they're winning and then like Aizawa dying would be so impactful is because it would be like the only way to bring down Shigaraki is to one, erase his quirk, and two, have a whole bunch of heroes fight him. If the quirk erasure is gone, then one of their strategies of thinking that they could beat Shigaraki is gone as well.
Man, the problem in my eyes is I don't know which quirk will help. Forgot this. Deku to beat Shigaraki's decay. Right now, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know which quirk, because every quirk that I'm seeing right now that could be happening to him is like our quirks that Shigaraki can steal or even has himself to use it against Deku. So right now, I really don't know.
That's why I was the idea of Eri at the end of the series would help Deku with Shigaraki, not like in combat, but as support, because if this nigga's like decaying this surrounding the area or shit like that, she would be there, the only person that can revert. And that would keep her in line with not being actually useful, but not a combat person. and then she can still play support, but actually still be like having a pivotal role.
Without
being too broken.
It'd be really dope if he did get the Wolverine like type regeneration. But because of how decay spreads, it would just be an endless cycle. So what if Deku had to like cut off his arm? Let's say he gets decay in his arm, he had to cut it off, then have the arm regenerate back just so that he could continue fighting. Instead of it just being like decay goes on and then it regenerates. Like he literally has to rip off the limbs of what gets decay and then like it grows back.
That would be too dark. I like the idea, but
that's some undead unluck fighting right there.
Yeah, like that's like.
But I mean, we've gotten so dark. Like, at what point, like realistic, like we've seen Shigaraki face get like somewhat scarred, like remove with fire. We've seen the muscles tear. We've seen like the Shigaraki flash. But like at what point?
Dark dark is not a fear anymore. Like we can't just go like this is too dark.
That's what I'm saying. Like at what point are we saying? Like at this point, really, like I don't think that's too bad because like you don't have to show like the bones and the mud. Like you could just show him literally just like if he had let's say he has like the cutting quirk, like the Wolverine claw or something. He cuts off his arm, it regenerates right because one for all like enhances all the quirks. So if it was just like basic regeneration, 100% of that regeneration is ridiculous.
Yes, I understand.
My thing was. I ain't saying like it's too dark. I'm just saying like it's a little wild. Like Aniki said, that's some undead unluck shit. Like this nigga, because the way you said it, I imagine that shit keep on repeat.
Yeah, like that. But I think that's how gruesome and how crazy Deku and Shigaraki's final fight is going to be. I think it's going to get to that level.
Also, real quick, Tarnish. Hold on, I want to real quick address something in the chat. It's not that Endeavor's scar is super inconsistent this chapter. It's that Horikoshi is consistently putting blood on him. So because he's constantly covering the bottom half of his face in blood plus flame, you can only see the top part of the scar. It's actually him being more detailed because a lot of manga aren't consistent in like the way they draw blood damage and stuff like that. So he's kind of like sticking to that gun, which is really impressive given the amount of stuff going on here. Like, Jesus.
Like I wanted to say this, like but even in the people that have like regeneration quirk, like in this in the panel that I showed to you for the first, you get also Devilman who has also something like this, and he can use other people's limbs as his own limbs.
So what you're saying is Bakugo gets his arm cut off and Deku sticks it on, and now he has explosion.
Yes. that is fun theory. That won't never happen, but if it can use something like this, because one of in the panel that we see Devilman is like I don't know if you know the manga or the anime of Netflix, but he does things like this. He transforms also. He get a big generation, a big superhuman strength. So I don't know how he will put it, how he will speed everything in his own way, Horikoshi. That's why I'm really curious about it, because we saw what he did with Black Whip and what we will see with Float. We are waiting for it. But the Wolverine one, this guy has just one arm with some kind of claw, or I don't know what it is, growing from his arms. But I want to see what it is. Really, I really want to see what it is.
Yeah, because the way I picture Float at 100% is just like I picture Superman, just literally just like. And then we've seen Black Whip at 100%, right?
Have we? I don't think so.
I think the first time
more or less when it went out of control.
You mean when it first came out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess you could call that 100%.
Also, I'm always a fan of the Black Whip arm. So I'm a big proponent of Shiggy, like him, like getting that cut off and having to use that. There's some other stuff that goes in with that, but I'm saving that for when I start the first episode of
By the way, I don't think it's. I think it's gonna get more mangled the fuck up than complete tear off. Like meat. Like I think it's gonna be useless, as in like meat and bone. You can see the meat in the bone and shit like that, missing fingers and shit like that. but I don't know if it's gonna get cut off. I'm not saying like it's too dark, but I'm saying like how he might do it. He might like to ease it just a little bit up because I still know because although he do be
I
showing that jump.
don't know. Yeah, I feel you what you mean. Sorry, my bad. I was cutting you.
I was just gonna say, I personally feel that they wouldn't have had him say that like if he keeps fucking like being reckless with his arm, it's gonna like he's like another time if he mangles it up that bad again, probably won't be able to use it again. I don't feel that they would have said that. They were just gonna cut it off.
No, what I think. All right, so crazy theory. I think Deku's going to have to use 100% this arc, and I think he's going to do it repeatedly with his arm, the busted arm. So I think he's going to do an attack. It's not going to do much, and he's going to go in for another one, and that's going to render that arm completely useless. I don't know how.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know how Horikoshi gets around it. I'm pretty sure we'll see how he gets around Deku only having one arm, but I think he loses. I didn't even think about this just to now. I think he loses the ability of one of his arms this arc.
Guys, which arm is the one? I can see that. Wait, yeah, which arm is the broken one?
Right.
Yeah, right.
I think it's the right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the right arm. The chat corrects me wrong, but it's the right.
That's the same arm that the guy was his arm was blown off, literally.
Yeah. So
whose arm was blown up?
The previous user.
One of the I think the
was it the Kage looking one?
The Kage.
The sixth one. That was his right arm who was blown off with the claw.
Yeah, it's the right arm. I'm looking at a picture now. It's his right arm.
Damn. So
yeah,
I'm gonna hate that, man. Oh my god, I'm gonna hate that.
I really like now that I said that. I really hope that Deku like. If it doesn't happen, it's cool. It can happen later on, or it cannot happen at all. But I think that him losing the ability of one of his arms, of like just function of it, would be amazing. Especially if they have to. This is how I can see it happening. He can do a New Hampshire smash at 100% with people holding onto him to get super far away, and he does it again to get even further away.
I mean, you have Bakugo's explosions to help propulsion, though. So Bakugo would have to be unconscious for that to be the move.
No, but what I'm saying, like, we know how fast Shigaraki is. I don't think Bakugo can move that fast. But we know Deku. We know Deku can move that fast.
So my thing isn't so much that you have to also factor in Bakugo is not using the howitzer for mobility usually. But at the same time, if you were to use it for mobility, think about the amount of force that is. Kind of like how, like, yes, Bones amped it up a little when they showed him like escaping that way. But if you think about it, there's no reason for him to not just be able to like do like 3 or 4 big blasts and like get them going pretty far in addition to Deku's kicks.
Yeah, plus they've been learning their own version of Flashfire, like their Sonic Boom, like how Endeavor does his quick shot. They've been learning their own version of that for a couple months now, and it is Bakugo we speaking of.
No, I just think of the speed and the severity of the situation will call for him to go that hard. I don't know what's going to. I'm not like, yes, Bakugo can move fast. Yes, we know he could do all this. Yes, we know he can go fast, but none of that is even near 100% Deku.
But at the same time, narrative, they got to think, how does he get? Because Ochako and Alderman are still coming. He's not going to be carrying everybody, and Bakugo definitely not going to get out.
He could carry a bus if he puts black whips on a couple of people. He is totally fine to do that.
Yeah, but then again, if he did that, he wouldn't be able to. The arm theory wouldn't work because he'd have to use both arms to do that.
Oh, he wouldn't.
I feel. I mean, no. I'm saying he'd have to, for him to be able to fucking like do that little theory of yours. He'd have to be able to carry everybody. But how could he carry? I don't think Black would be able to carry everybody with one arm.
No. Deku can use Black Whip on the people he needs to carry. Use with his left arm. Use the right arm. 100%. New Hampshire push like to go like the opposite direction of which he's punching, and then do it again, and that like once or twice, and then that's his arm. Of course, like it can happen in a lot of ways, but I'm just saying like him at 100% is faster than anybody on the battlefield right now.
I'm saying I can see him doing it, but not carrying everybody because everybody has their own.
Yeah, but I didn't say he was going to be carrying everybody. That was I don't know who said that, but I didn't say that.
I see survivors.
You said carrying folks.
But to be fair, if I'm going to be brutally honest, I don't see that happening in this arc. I don't see it happening now.
I see survivor's guilt being an extremely important part of the story going forward. because it's something that All Might deals with. It's something that Eraser deals with. And to a certain degree, I don't see Deku getting survivor's guilt properly, or like that arc necessarily making sense. It would be too jarring for a lot of readers if he's sitting here like, I feel really bad we lived that day after like saving so many people.
Well, I mean, not only that.
So-
Well, I mean, he'd feel survivor's guilt if Eraser died. Because
Yeah, but
that's
like,
that's the only way I could see him getting survivor's guilt. Period. Because I don't think he's gonna be like, man, this sucks. Crust
Bakugo
died.
died.
so my thing is,
Bakugo
if he's got to be saved, that's what will lead to him having like that guilt. Like if somebody has to save him, and that's moreover where I think Horikoshi's going to go with it. Just like Toshinori had to be saved, just like realistically Nana wasn't the priority target when she got her quirk. I think there's a certain level of you either die in these confrontations when they're overpowered, or somebody needs to like come in and clutch and save you. And so while Gran Torino definitely won't be doing the next save because he fucking got smacked hard, it's still an important like theme, and him having to be saved once again is just gonna like tear him apart. And I think that'll be.
I do think he's gonna parallel. I do think he's gonna parallel All Might.
Yeah.
I really just, I know Destin specifically doesn't want this to happen. I don't give a fuck. I want this to happen. I really want shit to get really dire, and I really just want All Might to pop up. and Eri, it like reverted him back, and I want the All Might to like push him away, like Nana pushed All Might away. And then you just see All Might surrounded by Giganto, Dabi, Shigaraki, the whole like Destro, and he is holding everyone off, and Shigaraki gives him the gruesome death. I think that would be fantastic. I know people don't like that, but I would be so happy. I would
hate the fuck out of that. I'd be goofy as hell. I'd be goofy as hell if that happened.
I know people don't like it.
That shit is 2 packs of ass.
Rex, I was
I don't care.
Rex, I was distracted. Can you re-explain for me, because I was distracted. What will you be happy for?
Oh, if
he wants Eri to revert All Might back to his former self, so then he can come and help save Deku, and then he'll get surrounded by the League, and then he'll get killed by Shigaraki in his peak form.
I like that. I like this idea. I like this idea of the Justice League getting kicked by Darkseid.
I'm crying because the nigga JJ said Rex is equal to Ty.
Wait, no.
Hey, yo.
I was avoiding saying anything about that one. I was gonna screenshot it and send it to Rex. But...
No, so the difference is Ty says these things are going to happen. I say I would like for it to happen. If it doesn't, it's cool. Like I understand it's very like unrealistic that would happen, but if it does, dude, like I know people call it clowny or whatever, but I just think that All Might, like people say, All Might's whole story is like him not being able to do anything. I think that will be really
Sorry, it's like I was laughing at Kez because Kez said All Might would be an absolute clown if he shows up and dies.
No, but that's the thing. Like y'all making fun of it, but I think that would be so impactful. Like All Might is constantly complaining. If he was still strong, he could do something.
Yep.
What if he gets strong and still not able to do anything?
Here's the thing. I've been thinking about that specifically because the last time we see Eri, not counting her sitting watching the stream with All Might, like the stream, her horn is basically like 6 inches long, like full on out here.
Yeah, okay.
Like, and then like we see her now, and the most recent panel, she's got nothing on her, like barely anything. It's like basically she's got a pimple. So from that perspective, what has she been rewinding? Either Mirio, like Ian was talking about, where we get the fly effect, where Shigaraki is basically the only person Shigaraki never actually beats is Mirio because he can't touch him.
Yep.
Or she's been reminding All Might, slowly trying to get him back to that. And Aizawa's been there just stopping her and erasing the quirk when it gets too dangerous, too powerful, too painful.
Okay.
I say the former with Mirio.
Yeah, the Mirio one sounds a lot more likely, but I'd be like, God damn it. But it's whatever.
Aniki, you know, when we talk about that decay is also more that physical. Imagine that even Mirio being like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Using his quirk gets decayed by just the concept that he's there.
So that shit will hurt.
That would hurt.
But I would immediately expect for there to be a decline of Mirio slander on my TL. Because Mirio ain't crust, you know.
Oh, just imagining to
Damn, man, dead niggas can't rest in peace. Golly.
Exactly, bro.
God, my God.
Guys,
Damn.
let the
Hey,
That nigga Anarchy gonna be like, hey son, let me show you something. He gonna have All Might Gray. He be like, now this is what I call a goat. And then he gonna be like, you want to see a bum? And he gonna point to Crust over there, and Crust gonna have his finger up and shit. I'm like, man, God damn, dog.
I really like Crust, man. I really like Crust.
No,
Crust was
Coyote,
like,
you already forgave it.
Nah,
You said it's
nigga.
all permissible because of my explanation on why Ending's a good character. So
no. Because Crust is like the representation of All Might legacy to the society. People who were like grew up with All Might as a hero. People, and he's like the perfect representation of it. He
Oh
died
my
like
God.
All Might. He died like All Might would die too, in my eyes, literally.
okay,
No.
Saving someone
Hold
with
on,
this one.
really quick.
Yeah.
I see people in the chat talking about Horikoshi doesn't do ass pull, blah 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 blah. This ain't Naruto. I just had a revelation. If All Might does pull up to this, there's a chopper in the sky. Everybody around Japan would be like, All Might is fucking back. Yes, we are saved. Just for like that will really crush the society if we see their symbol come back again and just like I understand people I really understand people think that it's like bullshit, but I don't think so. Like I don't. Like I think it's like a 10% chance of happening. But
it's one of okay. Here's
So-
the thing
so
for the
Rex-
the sociological ramifications of All Might coming back and getting
Katana.
wrecked, really high actually. Like they already have lost hope. They got discouraged with Endeavor. They're starting to rally around. Like if All Might comes back, there's a moment of we can get back to good.
Yet we can still go back to the good old days.
yeah, like people are like downplaying it. Like this wouldn't be the most tragic thing for All Might to be at his peak power and still not be able to do anything. I don't understand what's so crazy about that. Like, cause like him in his decrepit state is like, oh, I died not being able to do anything. Yes, that's impactful or whatever. And All Might has expressed, like we've seen throughout the story, All Might not being able to do anything. But also what we've seen is All Might training. We wouldn't have seen All Might training for nothing. Why is All Might constantly staying in shape? What is All Might constantly like doing all this for? I this is I know it's a low chance, but on the chance that it does happen, it will make perfect sense. All Might will stand in shape and stand focused with like combat and everything, because if this one chance does present itself and he does come back, and just for it to be ripped away from him, it's like I thought I could do anything at my peak, and I couldn't even stop Shigaraki. And then it also damages Deku to like All Might couldn't stop him.
Mhm.
Then the civilians are like, our symbol that we thought was invincible lost. And then not only that, all the heroes around will really see how strong Shigaraki is. There are so much ramifications.
Let
if All
me
Might
ask
did-
you.
Go
Let me
ahead.
ask you something. So how does this line up with everything you were talking about with the Shigaraki and handcuffs, all that? Because
Well, all that can still happen. All Might
so
jump.
that means
all right, so
Machia would be there too.
Exactly. So here's literally how it happened. Shigaraki's in a handcuff. Machia comes in. He kills Aizawa. All this pandemonium's happening. Like everyone's scrounging. Everybody's trying to run away. And as they're trying to get away, and Shigaraki and the League of Villains are chasing after them, like a line in the sand is drawn, and All Might is there. And he allows them to get away. And while like they get away, but All Might dies in place of them. All Might doesn't think he's gonna die. All Might think he's strong enough to stop it, but All Might dies. I know, like
With a
again,
smile, with a
I know-
smile and the thumbs up like Crust. That would be a perfect reference.
I don't think like. And here's the thing: when All Might dies, I don't think it's going to be something heroic. I think he's going to get the overhaul treatment where Shigaraki is going to start, like, he can control his decay. I think he's going to start slowly decaying him and like cutting off. I think it's going to be like a gruesome death. I don't think it's just going to be decayed instantly.
Look, I've always been a
Yeah.
big fan of the All Might slowly tortured to death on screen during a live stream because they won't turn the cameras
man.
off for that.
And where is a helicopter's right? Like so much is lining up for All Might to have a gruesome death in front of the public.
Also, although I'm not, although I'm not really with this entire All Might theory, I'm not like calling it. I'm not dogging you like, oh, this nigga doodoo. It's too past that. Nah, it's whatever. But I even throw you something extra. Skeptic is on the way. The little man who has a satellite in the sky who literally is all about hacking networks. So this is going like to give you something else that would go live throughout the entire world, not just Japan TV. Because Skeptic has that type of pull.
Also, somebody said we need an anti-Rex in the stream, and the anti-Rex is usually Dustin.
Yeah, it's usually Dustin. The issue is that most of the time I say this stuff, it's not like I'm saying this is going to happen. I just like to throw out possibilities what I think would be cool and interesting. But people are so hung up of just like this is it. Let's stay on the straight and narrow. I'm like, bro, we're supposed to have fun. Let's come up with some possibilities, some theories. I don't care if I trust Horikoshi writing. All my theories this entire time with My Hero have been wrong. I honestly don't care. I just like to come up with some unique stuff that could happen. And the Horikoshi usually blows my expectations out of the water and make my stuff look terrible. But I'm just saying, like, this is fun stuff to discuss. But this is my biggest issue, especially this goes back to the documentary thing. People are so focused on just the story. Like, if we just want to read just the story, we could do that. But the point of having a community is just to discuss stuff, have fun. But niggas be like, no, this is it. Discussion about possibilities? Blasphemous. I'm like, okay.
Hey, look, that did lead to my favorite Dustin quote of all time, where he looked at the camera and just went, I hate you and your possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said in the chat, we're just passing time to the next chapter, bro. It's like, man, it's cool, bro.
You know what, nigga, pass your time in your own self. No, that's with you, man. You know we love you. You know we love you, Rex.
No, I love Rex. I love Rex being the controversial lightning rod.
Well, I mean, of course,
we couldn't survive without Rex, bro.
It wouldn't be as fun.
We couldn't survive without Rex in this bitch. We are because of Rex. I like to thank everybody come to my church, man. You know, Anarchy is his channel, this church brother. He one of my day ones, man. We go way back. I wouldn't be here without y'all, man. We need y'all. Everybody is a moving piece in this puzzle, especially Rex, the most pivotal part. Because you cannot have greatness without controversy and lunacy.
I don't think I'll be being controversial with some of my takes.
No.
Who blast us.
That is Jan's role to be the controversy in this shit, man.
So
mostly, I mean, you can't have a discussion without somebody.
So
opinion.
One of the things that I like about specifically the idea of her being able to rewind All Might. One, because it's more experimental. So I think that him being the one to like risk being accidentally erased makes more sense. And I think that what it does set up for is I'm a big proponent of more or less like Aerie being an endgame importance, where because she's finally gotten to a point with her quirk that she can rewind people, that some of the people who are going to lose their quirks, lose their bodies, or like the things that let them fight will be able to be brought back. Because it's not like the Nomu program is going to stop, right? Like they're rescuing the doctor. They're going to take the corpses of some of these heroes and make some mean ass high ends out of them. And the only way that I like see that being even viable is if we have like some of the old guard, like Mirko, like Hawks, who I actually think Hawks isn't going to be doing any flying after this arc. Like, period.
That nigga done.
He done.
So
if you want to say he lives, okay, but that nigga done.
That nigga is literally right now what we call in French poulet braisé.
Yes, I agree. I don't know what you're saying, but I agree.
And so when you have this situation where like you could have Hawks, Mirko was drawn with the watches all over her left arm, plus the robot knee. So like you have the potential of like her needing multiple prosthetics in the future. When we have all this stuff being set up, I really like the idea of us going into the future, like getting around the last arc and being like, all right, Aries now, like especially because I expect this to go like 4 or 5 years, like time skip, like they're gonna go do like their high school years in America, somewhere else, be doing hero work. Shigaraki, because he's decayed, the voice of AFO, is going to be a bit more focused on Japan, but also because he's going to be more focused on giving his friends what they want. When he said he wanted to be different than AFO, if you think about it, All For One ruled strictly through power. And then like you see the way Endeavor is like, I'm not going to be the same symbol, but that doesn't matter. I'm working with, you know, these other heroes. Deku's thing is going to be that hero team's been emphasized. The League of Villains came up as a group. Yeah, we emphasize Shigaraki because he's the main in-game target for Deku, but it's important to note that as a group, these people rose up together. So you've got your Injustice League versus your eventual Justice League forming. And then that's kind of like, you kind of need that like build up. So like them being able to get away, having the best vestige of AFO that's specifically super hungry for one for all increases the odds of them being able to get away, do stuff, and eventually come back as adults and be like, all right, been helping out in America, doing all this other stuff, been helping out wherever, because at best, it's stated that your country has like a 20% crime rate during this advent of quirks. So these kids going to any of these other nations' areas are going to have like a certain mindset, certain standard that All Might set for them of that like 6% crime rate, where they're going to be going through there trying to like stomp the yard and really establish like, nah, like just because Japan fell doesn't mean we'll let any other countries fall in this way. So having both of these like built up this way, that's the other thing. Like Shigaraki isn't nearly as invested in the vestige legacy as like Deku is. Shigaraki is built more towards the future, whereas Deku is going to embrace the future. He's more or less willing to take and adapt and accept everything about the past that led to this road. And that, of course, we're gonna have. That's why we need the mutant discrimination arc. That's why we need for them to kind of like visit other countries, or like potentially, especially the U.S. being the home birthplace of heroes. It's so that we can get like this full legacy of what Deku's actually carrying with him, and then go forward. And yeah, Deku's vestiges actually support him. AFO as a vestige is just like, yo, Shiggy, get that power. Like, chat kind of going off right now.
About what?
They were mentioning just like the differences between like Shigaraki and Deku and the way they're handling their inheritance, plus the way they're moving forward. So all around.
It's funny the parallels, like how they don't line up, how Deku isn't really trying to be greater than All Might, essentially. He's not trying to be that next big symbol of peace, because that's just been broken down. But on the opposite end, you got Shigaraki. I'm rising above All For One. I'll be greater than him, greater than he ever was. Well, that's also not really Deku's. That's right, not really Deku's goal, true goal.
Yeah, and like, where's this coming at? I don't think.
By the way,
go ahead. Go ahead. No, go.
Oh, I just want to throw in real quick. Hawks, I need a nigga Hawks dead, but if you want to get him living, okay, he's not using his quirk anymore. His back is gone. There's so much you can do, and that shit is done for. And plus, even like you try, and then there's no prosthetics for him because he uses. It was like, was it telekinesis? Like
he's got like telekinesis attached to his feathers to do all kinds of sensory stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
so it doesn't work for Hawks, but it works for Miracle because her entire body, she's a xenomorph type, so she's a mutant type. So she already still has her abilities. So just some prosthetics help her. That's just enhancing. Hawks had you just telepathy, so it don't work the same. But you can go, Rex. I just want to throw that out.
And depending on if Genus is alive or not, the heroes like actually trying to do hero work with prosthetics and stuff doesn't seem to be that common of a thing. Mostly because it still is a downgrade. Like even if Miracle gets a robot leg, that's still probably not going to be as good or as intuitive as her bunny leg.
But we already saw that, and we saw like Redestro, and I can only assume that Redestro had some of the best prosthetics.
I was gonna say like her using prosthetics would be trash, because like pretty much you take away a lot of her viability because it comes directly from her legs.
No, they would be using claustro level like quality shit. They wouldn't just be using like Larry Desper said. He has combat legs, and he has those basic prosthetics. We talking about her using combat legs.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
makes
we mean.
sense because
Yeah,
that makes sense because of the fact that they were not preparing for an attack. So he probably had his
yeah,
normal walk. Like,
yeah. That's why he said like, "Hey, where my combat legs at? Y'all niggas slacking over here." Like he didn't ask for his cloth run. He said, "Where my combat legs at?" That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't mean prosthetics and regular. I mean like combat shit. They showing they have combat metal like combat gear for this stuff.
That's cool. I just don't.
but I will agree. But I will agree with them though that while that might be true, I don't think it would have the same level of viability as her actual legs.
Yeah. I don't think.
Yeah.
And also, I hope that Miracle is so damaged that she can't do any hero work, even with prosthetic legs.
That's what I hope for.
No, I'm hoping her and
Arm,
Hawks are
fucked up
teachers, and if they become heroes, it'll be towards the end, and it'll be because of Eri. That is the only acceptable thing. Like I won't say it's the only acceptable thing because obviously Horikoshi can just decide to write some madman shit and it's dope. But that's the most rational conclusion for me right now is to keep them in the story, but like not, have them, actually be able to save anyone for a while. It just doesn't make sense for them to not be benched based on the ways they've been getting like smacked around.
Yeah, I just need. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just got a personal bias on you, nigga. Hawk's dead personally. Well, that's just how it is. I'm not gonna change my mind. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I want that fucking bird in the fryer. That's just how it is. I ain't taking this shit back either. And the nigga dead.
Also, I want to say that I don't think their All for One vestige works the exact same as One for All, because I think All for One vestige is just literally just the buildup of all what the main goal that All for One wanted. And I think that if the actual All for One was on the battlefield, I don't think he would have ordered Shigaraki like that because he put so much faith in him.
Yeah, I think the vestiges are the wills, the leftover remnants and wills of people. And like I said, All for One was obsessed with One for All for like over 100 years. Yeah. So that's one of the most dominant things that came through.
I don't think that's a vestige. Yeah, I think it's literally just a manifestation of his own will.
Yeah, I don't
because he even calls it All for One's will. So like to me, I don't think it's like the same as like his spirit living within All for One. Because I think it's his will.
Because I think if the actual All for One was inside of him, I think he would have been more lenient with it, just like, hey, you should try this quirk and this quirk. I think he would be more like how the users are of One for All. Because in my opinion, I think that All for One has its complete and utter faith in Shigaraki and what he's going to do. So I see it to be into where All for One, if he was a vestige, would be like, hey, do this. Hey, look, like, like an actual conversation between the two of them instead of orders.
Yeah, exactly. It's like because what he said that really had nothing to do with Shigaraki. It was just more like I'm finally about to take my brother's quirk. Yes.
And because this has happened, I don't think that Shigaraki main goal is Deku anymore.
I agree.
That's what I said because I was like, it seems to me that the only reason he even cared about getting Deku was because of All for One. So like to me, I feel like his goal is to kill these niggas.
So now I think that the heroes are in a worse position now because literally what could happen is that Shigaraki could literally say, "Huh, I don't care about Deku anymore," and go straight for the civilians. It's a possibility because he I don't know if the heroes would allow him to do that, but like he can literally do that. Like he doesn't have to focus on Deku anymore because there's nothing driving him to like just like Deku, one for all. No, there's nothing driving him to that anymore.
Hey Rex, what's funny is you said I don't think they let him do that. Do they got a choice?
Yeah, he doesn't have quirk right now.
That nigga speed blitz both Endeavor and well, he speed blitz Gran Torino. He gut punched the nigga, and then he speed blitz right in there. I know he got knocked by Vanish the Fifth, but that nigga, let's not act like that nigga just wasn't speed blitzing past everybody's attack and every which way. So that's like him trying to get Deku and staying closer to him. Imagine that nigga was just like, all right, I'm out this bitch, and just like did because they can't keep up. They're trying to contain it because Deku is the bait. Imagine he just wanted to free roam and do whatever he wanted to do. They be having a hard ass time keeping up, and he could just start snapping niggas' necks like twigs if he wanted to, like flies, pew pew, knocking people's head off.
The one thing I will say is that I think he still acknowledges that One for All is just a really fucking good quirk.
Yes.
So I think he still wants it for that. Like he still because like you combine One for All with like Shigaraki's current kit, and the only person taking him out is Shinso or Eri.
Oh, shout out to Ken. Look at what Ken said. I'll read it.
I feel like Shiggy
if
wants to surpass is to do what his master couldn't for generations. I could see that, but I feel like right now his focus will not be on Deku. I'm not saying that he'll never go after one for all, but I don't think he'll be as obsessed with it as he was earlier.
Oh yeah,
Because
no.
earlier, his whole goal, his whole focus on this whole fight was to take one for all. I don't feel like he'll have that same level of determination in the fight going forward.
Here's the thing. I think that like that's part of why I like Rex's idea, or like I like the handcuffs thing, because like him over focusing on one for all here would have been the thing that like led to him in chains for a temporary moment before Machia pulls up. And if you think about it, he going into the surgery said, "I'm going to stop underestimating."
Hey, you dropped my damn place.
By deciding to prioritize Deku, and like because think about like the way he's been disrespecting people this arc too. So like Shiggy goes from I'm not gonna underestimate the heroes to standing on Endeavor, copying his pose.
Sorry about that, yeah.
So like to a certain degree, it has been taking the heroes lightly. It's kind of like when Luffy was like, I'm gonna take the New World seriously after all my people got like separated. And then you get the Punk Hazard and Zoro's like, yo, take this shit seriously. It's kind of like Shigaraki is having that moment of like, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I got a bunch of power, but I do still need to take this seriously now.
You know what's funny?
That's what's going to transition into I'm just going to drop all the heroes and eventually catch up to Deku later.
I think I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think that he is taking it seriously. I just think that that's Shigaraki's actual personality. Like I think he's taking it serious, but like that's like me.
He's just a disrespectful fuck.
Yeah, like that's like me playing League of Legends and then like I'm winning the game, but then I'm like doing like emotes and stuff as I'm doing it. It's like, yeah, I'm taking it seriously, but like, I like to have a little fun in there.
Yeah, I agree with Rex because he's always been like someone who's like is not very nonchalant about his battles.
Yeah,
unless he's in one of his crazy moments.
Yeah, listen, what's so funny to me about Shigaraki is y'all niggas want to talk range. This nigga went through like 10 different emotions in one chapter. This nigga went from splitting his head open to finding his own will, reaffirming that he got the big dick energy. The nigga was like, nigga did not. He went from confusion and like, you won't step on Shimura's will any longer. He's like, who? Nigga, I don't know who the fuck that is. Then he went from like 2 seconds to that, and then he was like, and then he seen Endeavor trying to jump as it. The nigga went to anger. Like this nigga was jumping all around the place when it came to emotions, bro. I truly cannot wait to see when he hears the words, he sees twice the body, or hear the words uttered that Jin is dead. I cannot. That's probably my favorite chapter ever when that shit really happened. Because I cannot wait to see this nigga fold everybody for that shit.
Also, like.
Anyway, just a second. I wanted to say goodbye. You may realize that I was a bit absent.
We noticed this.
No, stuff came up, and I'm just bad at multitasking apparently.
That's okay. Give us your final thoughts on the chapter before you go.
Yeah, I really like the chapter. Loads of action. I think Shigaraki was just the highlight. Just this going from still being somewhat manipulated by his old master to freeing himself and being utterly crazy in between. Yeah.
We appreciate your time, Sayez.
Yes, Sayez.
Yeah, thanks for having me. See ya.
And don't forget, we got to get her a body pillow.
Yeah, no, we're working on it.
The body pillow agenda isn't over yet.
Yeah,
Yep.
we should start on the Patreon.
Yep.
GoFundMe is in process.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay,
all right.
Be safe. Be safe out there, Sayez.
Yeah, you too. See where's the quit button?
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Aww. Don't be speaking that foreign language on my stream. No, I'm kidding. No, we're not those kind of Americans.
Oh, thank you.
Speak for yourself. Am I right from the back? Son one the problem around here.
Shiggy did a double liberation.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That like these past like 50 chapters have just been Shigaraki freeing himself from one thing after another. Like
these niggas can't hold me back.
Right.
Boy, Kez, you on the money, my guy. East Dream Journal. Number 1, Shiggy kills Hawks for twice. Yes, sir.
Man, Twice got what he deserved technically.
I don't give a fuck. I told
Yeah,
y'all. I
but-
told y'all how it is. Biased out. I don't give a fuck.
Allee, like
So-
said, Aniki, Twice was too gentle to be a villain. So yeah.
Let's say it again, Ponzo. You like your audio dipped a little there.
Really? Do you hear me better?
Yeah, I got you right now.
Okay. Like you said, Twice was too good to be a villain. He was a too good guy.
Yeah, like one, he was like he was a genuinely good dude to a certain degree, but like as far as like that's why his death is the only W the heroes really have. And considering what it's going to cause for them down the road, not to mention I am not at all opposed to like a Twice high end. So it'll be a Twice that still has that really goofy personality, but is also a fucking high end. Because at that point, a self-duplicating high end is the only high end they would actually need to like take on Hero Society. All right, see you around, Jack Axel. Thanks. You were here for a good hour at least, I think. So actually,
how much longer till we wind down? Actually,
yeah, well, we're getting close to the wind down. I was thinking about doing it before Saya said that. So yeah, let's just go around the horn, do the final thoughts, opinions, expectations. Let's see, Tom, are you awake right now?
I am awake, bro. I'm sorry about that.
No, you good.
you good, man. All love,
Nah, you good. Just real quick, give us like your final thoughts, expectations on 277, like where you think we're going from here.
Man, I would love to see more interactions with, just not interactions, but like I would love to see like I would love to see more about what's going on with Shiggy, like far as his, what's going on inside of his, his mind, and like and see where see where he's headed, like further on, as these chapters keep progressing. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure how long Eraserhead is gonna like keep up with his eyesight of of controlling his his power or whatnot. It might be a panel or two next chapter, and like he might blink and it might fuck up the whole plan. But I'm just waiting. I'm just dying to wait of seeing more progression of this current arc, and seeing how it's all going to be put down in history, that Shiggy is going to rise up to the occasion of being the greatest threat to ever walk the planet. And I'm excited for that. And I also want to see a Gigantomachia get past Mount Lady. Of course he get past her, but like he needs to wrap it up.
No, he's knocking her out and taking her with him as his woman. Some caveman shit.
I feel like that's gonna be, if they're probably gonna continue that next week, which will be funny.
If that happen next week, I wouldn't mind it. I also would like to see a little bit of Hawk's last moments. I do think like with my brother East that he might be dying. This arc. I wouldn't mind seeing Tokiyami go after Dabi. After that. Just a little something slight. Just to see a little progression from Tokiyami, give revenge for his master, whatnot, or his mentor or whatnot. And if somebody had to die next chapter, if Aizawa Sensei blinks, I wouldn't mind seeing either Gran Torino or I wouldn't mind seeing Gran Torino perish. You know what I mean?
Yes,
it might.
Too. We are in the same bag for this one.
It might bring something out of Deku to like one of like go even further beyond 45%. That's about it.
All right, East, because I know you want to go in.
On me? All right. We got guys are here today. The praise to go. Everybody plays the house. Amen, amen. Bless our coaches. Yes, sir. Palms, brother, bro. All right, we keep moving. All right, now shout out to the GOAT as per usual. You already know how this goes. Another 10 out of 10. It ain't gonna stop. I don't care how you feel. This is the GOAT. He just, I don't know how he does it, man. Every week, back to back. I can't wait until we cut back just a little bit to, get everything filled in the next chapter. I think how long has Act 2 been since Shigaraki basically woke up?
Let's find out.
It's been about, I want to say 7-8 chapters. So we're finna hit the climax of Act 2, I believe.
Yeah, 270 is when the dream sequence happens. So at the end of 270 is when he wakes up.
Yeah, chapter we on now?
277 is the chapter this week.
So we got like 3-4 more
chapters?
so we got like 3-4 more until Act 2 wraps up. Starts coming to his big climax, and then we hit Act 3. This arc about to be hardcore, about to stick the landing as per usual. Arc gonna be GOAT. I appreciate all y'all coming through, joining the Discord and stuff like that too. And then if you guys got any suggestions about any streams Anik you should do, you can let us know in the Discord. Shout out to Chainsaw Man, Undead Unluck. This is what we should be doing some streams on, but you guys can always hit us up. You know how it goes.
Hey,
appreciate y'all coming through.
You said you want to do an Undead Unluck stream.
Yes, sir. Tezuka the GOAT. He underrated. Well, we gonna talk about that real quick off stream, but I want to let everybody else go. So we out this bitch. Appreciate y'all coming. Much love. Appreciate everybody in the stream. Aniki the GOAT.
All right, let's get Rex. Let's get you in here. Wait, no, Rex is muted. So,
okay. Nope, I was just letting everybody go. Great chapter. I can't wait. Well, I can't wait to see what Giganto does, if this love shit really is true. If it is, whoever called it out is just like the GOAT. I don't remember who's
it was either Terrence or JJ. Shout out to one of them.
Yeah, whoever said that in chat, you're a GOAT if this really does pan out like that. I don't really have much of predictions of like really where the chapter is gonna go, because like I'm usually wrong on like those type of things. So I'm gonna just let Horikoshi take the driver's seat and just like do what he does. Also, the new anime season has started. So I want everybody, if you haven't already, watch Re:Zero season 1. Also, the new season starts this Wednesday. If you've already watched Re:Zero season 1, I implore you, if you want to get ahead a little bit, read the web novel. It is some of the best material you will ever read, and Subaru is one of my favorite main characters of all time. Top 3 at least. That's all I got to say.
Ponzu?
Okay. Hello. Thank you for inviting me. And yeah, well, it was the first stream. What can I say of the chapter? It was a great chapter. I read it Friday and today again, so I was happy two times. So, Aniki, the GOAT, like I said, Aniki the GOAT. I'm really happy that I can talk to people like this every Sunday. It makes me a happy man. So thank you for this. And next to it, go read Red Storm, Korean manhwa that I'm really fan of. Go read this, you will like it. And go read Dreamland. I'm a translator for this manga.
Hey, okay, Ponzu.
Oh, dope.
So yeah, go read this online. So thank you for listening to me, and go read my theory if you ask questions about what we were talking about, like for like almost like 1 hour. So yeah, thank you for having me, and bye.
BG.
Oh, what is it? I didn't really completely read spoilers this week, and I didn't read the scans either. So
Ooh, you coming to the light, getting off that urban and that crack. Like
another East. One of us.
Shut your ass up, man.
But yeah, no. So this was fresh for me, and it was dope, really dope. It was all shocking, so it was really fun chapter. Shigaraki continues to be goated, so that always makes me happy. And we what is it? I'm excited for next week. Need that now.
Expeditiously.
Exactly.
All right, guys, let's wrapping up the end of the stream. I thought this week's chapter was great. I love chapters where I predict things and I get to be right, of course, but also in general, I like the progression of the story where Shigaraki's character's headed. Oh, we got Squid coming in for the last like 30 seconds. That's wild. But I kind of like just where the story's going. One of the things that I'm actually bringing to the channel that the first episode will probably be sometime this upcoming week is I plan on doing interview live streams about MHA with people. So like, for example, BG, since you didn't get to make it to the Heroes Billboard chart stream, I'm probably going to try to like get you in on there. We'll run through some of the conversations that we had on there. Plus I'll throw you some extra curveballs. So if you want to do that, let me know. Actually, yeah, I got Noxie, who was also going to do the Billboard chart stream, but then ended up having to do some stuff with the sun. So that's probably going to be the first stream is going to be within like a week or two. And then I'll have you guys vote at the end of the interview whether or not these people are heretics or true believers of the Church of My Hero Academia. And that'll be a big thing. So
listen his name.
Squid, you came in for the last like 2 minutes. Speak your mind, young
Squid!
blood.
It's your turn to shine, my nigga.
Yo, this chapter was good, man. I liked it.
Squid didn't even say anything wild. That's
Squid, you're supposed to be the funny one. What is it?
Yes.
Okay,
What's happening? What's happening, Squid?
Somebody kidnapped Squid. This ain't Squid.
Exactly.
Yeah. This chapter, no, seriously, this chapter was pretty good. I think it's more of a setup chapter, if anything.
Yeah.
Of course.
Real quick, I saw
Squid
someone
just
in
woke up, I can tell.
I saw someone in the comment section saying, "How did you manage not to get spoiled, BG?" I'm gonna let everyone know it is super easy not to get spoiled on any manga. Just don't follow the niggas y'all follow. I promise you.
I have a very bad reason of why I didn't get spoiled. Because all the Smash controversy this week. That's why I didn't get spoiled. I was too distracted by everything else to care about fucking spoilers.
But I never get spoiled because I don't follow y'all niggas. I follow like the main people in the church, and that's it.
Cap, hold on. You're telling me you think I'm gonna be on the timeline spoiling? I don't.
No.
Listen,
that's what I'm saying. I only follow y'all, so I don't get spoiled.
Listen, this is
You
what
don't
I'm
follow me,
Hey, yo,
Rex.
man, that's a big accusation.
You don't follow me, Rex.
Yeah, you can follow me. You can follow me.
Hold on.
You can follow
This
me.
is what I'm not trying to hear. It don't matter who you follow, because Twitter, even if you follow, if I like somebody that says something about the chapter, it will pop up in your TL, whether you ask for it to pop up in your TL or not. Niggas will post bare, no matter what you mute, you can't mute a panel. Niggas will post bare ass panels and spoilers with no context and be like, bruh, and then you get spoiled. I've seen this shit happen. It happened to Anarchy before.
Yo.
You need to mute the word,
East
bruh.
BG. East BG.
Mhm.
Here's the secret sauce. Don't follow any Twitter. I know y'all niggas like it, but
Rex really does. No, like Rex really doesn't follow any Twitter. Like that.
I really
he
don't.
He unfollowed a bunch of us at one point just to make sure.
Yeah, but listen, I don't be. Listen, the spoilers come out Thursday. I don't be on the TL. I know better.
Listen, I'm on the TL extra when I see that.
That's fine. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm specifically talking about the people in the chat that's like, how do you not get spoiled? It's like, bro, like I know any Twitter is like amazing. It has great memes and stuff, but like, it's like when the manga stuff come out, it's so bad. Like it's so cancerous. It's like you don't even get like you could literally just wake up and say, hey, what's going on Twitter? Shigaraki's dead. What the hell?
Listen. I refuse to believe you get spoiled on Yaiba in the last arc. Because nigga, I was getting spoiled every goddamn week.
For me? No, I didn't.
Bro, I refuse to believe
that's why I unfollow everybody on any Twitter. I literally saw nothing to Yaiba related until I went into the manga myself.
Man,
the thing is,
the spoilers came to me.
I have like so many things
on Yaiba because I wanted to pretty much expedite the disappointment.
That's fair. That's a good warning. That's a really
It's
good
just
warning.
expeditiously.
Like for me,
I don't want to be like getting excited and then I read and I'm like, damn. Nah,
even though I did almost unfollow Tarnish.
I'll prepare myself for it.
You almost follow who?
I almost unfollowed Tarnish because he definitely dropped a panel one day. But I ended up not doing a live stream.
Tarnish, it's like that.
So it ended up working out. But yeah. All right. We ended up discussing a bunch of spoilers. That's whatever. Spoiler culture is always going to be a thing. We just kind of got to adapt. That's why I always create my spoiler shields, and then I tweet those out. So like that way, if you follow me and you see it, you can be like, all right, these are all the words Onyx got muted. If I want to tweet about these people, I'll make sure I at least use one of these words. Which the word spoilers.
You just gotta avoid spoilers.
You should also mute. You should also mute the word "bruh."
No, but listen, trust, bro. You don't understand. When I watch, I'm gonna pull it up. I mute it, bro. Oh my god, and be like, no, you don't know how many combinations these niggas got to, bro. They got so many fucking combinations of this shit, bro. All caps, bro. Like two. They got BR, lowercase UH. Like, bro, they got so many combinations. Listen, at the end of the day,
word clean 1 week.
See, look, listen. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, Yaiba niggas were the worst spoilers, and AOT right after that. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. They will post raw panels like ... How you mute ...
Worst part is Attack on Titan is actually good, while this last arc of Yaiba was.
Woo! There we go.
Hey, but guess what? Them sales say otherwise. The sales say otherwise.
Oh yeah, Yaiba's the best thing at Jump ever.
People can emotionally commit to the wrong
In terms
thing.
of its sales, you might be onto something.
Look, women stay in toxic relationships for years. That doesn't mean that was a good boyfriend, okay? That's all I'm saying. All right, but yeah, we're gonna wrap the stream up here. Thanks everybody for coming through. Shit, that's all I got.
With a bum for coming late, he brought all the gas.